This game, I initially came into expecting very different things than what the game was. Now that being said, there are elements of this game where it is very much the coffin of Andy and Leyley. But there was no cannibalism, and there was no darker aspects, like, Satan rituals and stuff, demons. And of course, the main thing that people joke about all the time with Andy and Leyley is an easily avoidable part of this game. We're not going to be avoiding it this time. We're going to do our second playthrough now. We've done a full playthrough of the game, and we've played the extra chapter. My playthrough of the extra chapter was 6 hours long. It was the chapter where we play it from Misa's perspective. And honestly, one of the best romance and love stories ever in any video game or movie that's ever been. It's a good story. Now, we're going to play the game again on the second playthrough. If you have not seen the first 10 parts, or like 20 hours of this game, I suggest you watch that first. Because this part's going to be more unsettling for some of you. Because this part, we're going to have incest. There's brother and sister incest. That being said, I don't know how graphic it might possibly be. Obviously, if there's a full-on sex scene or nudity, I can't show that on YouTube. So, yeah, don't get your hopes up. I may be someone who is a bit of a, a man of culture, a person who loves hentai games and futa and femboy and all sorts of hentai stuff. Heck, I dislike games that I consider woke. At the same time, I really just play games I enjoy. But I do dislike if a game's like overly forcing a message or some shit. Now granted, there's sometimes I'll start talking about random bullshit, but I'm not a game developer. I'm some random crazy guy who's talking about whatever the fuck I feel like talking about. So I'm just going to be myself and a lot of times just ponder things out loud. If you guys want to be along for the ride, I appreciate it. But, yeah. And it's not like I really have to worry about like trying to please some sort of sponsor. I'm never going to make a cent from this channel. I'm never going to be monetized. I'm never going to have super chats or sponsors and that shit or merch. I just like rambling on my computer. This is a hobby that I enjoy doing, albeit a bit obsessively. I have an obsessive and addictive personality. I don't think I did my intro, did I? Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. The YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8, and this is part 11 of Let's Play Sickness. This game, like I think I'll even mention in the title, it is reminiscent of the Coffin of Andy and Leyley game, which I've heard is coming out with an episode 2, unless I've heard incorrectly. That being said, would anybody want to watch me play episode 2? The other thing is this. I never really finished episode 1 because I got spoiled for the story and I just got more into watching other people play it. So it wouldn't be blind anymore. So it's like, what would be the point of playing it? Like, we all already know what happens now. But in episode 2, it could be, well, something that we don't expect. I have no idea what an episode 2 would be. I don't even know if an episode 2 actually exists. All I know is this. Developer of Andy and Leyley. You make an episode 2, me and probably several million other people are going to buy your game. But I will say this. I like the music in this game. And of course, I'm always up for game suggestions. That being said, I do kind of jump around quite a bit. I can't stay on one subject when I talk. And I just do whatever the fuck I feel like. And when it comes to game suggestions, if I do play a game, I'm probably going to get it what's on sale. Unless it's like, say, with Deathmark, I bought full price because I bought it the day it came out. And I usually only do that if there's a game I really, really am looking forward to. Still have an extra chapter on that one I could probably get into, but for the most part, I think we've seen just about everything we can in that game. And of course, I like to play lots of different games, whether they are platformers or reflex-based games like Thumper or Nerve, or visual novels. I really enjoyed the Perfect Apocalypse trilogy. I played some horror games. At the end of the day, what's the biggest determining factor whether or not I play a game? Whether or not I feel like it. A game can be the hardest thing in the world. As long as I feel like I want to play it, I'll play it. In the same regard, the game could be easy as can be. I'm not going to do shit with it if I'm bored. And of course, some games can be very long. Heck, there's also a few games I was able to buy on sale that, like, take Raging Loop. Raging Loop is probably one of the best visual novels ever written. Same with AI Somnium-Files. But I played that on a PS4. So I do find it's more interesting, both for me and potentially for any of you. But then again, I'm kind of lying to myself saying that my videos or me talking about the random bullshit I talk about is interesting to people. One moment. Sorry about that. I saw a bug and I picked it up. Don't worry, it didn't bite me or anything, and put it in the toilet and flushed it down. Like I said, there's some bugs I know are perhaps a little bit poisonous, and I'm like, I'd rather take care of that now. But I'm always open to suggestions, so if I do get a game, I'll probably get it when it's on sale. That being said, I promise nothing. I guarantee even less. And the only thing consistent about my channel is a complete lack of any professionalism. I just enjoy playing games. Particularly, I do enjoy games like this, that have a story I find interesting. So whether it's a visual novel, a platformer, or a reaction-based game, like high-speed movements, I'll enjoy it, though there are some that have perhaps given me a bit of motion sickness. But yeah, I'm just saying. 1, there is going to be incest. 2, if there are actual sex scenes or nudity with said incest, I'm going to edit that. You know, I may enjoy hentai myself, but I can't show it on YouTube. I can't show nudity. So I will have to edit that if there is any. So you're not going to see, if there's like a scene where, you know, Sarah is sucking Suo's cock, you're not going to be allowed to see that. I'll see it though. I'll give you commentary about it. Like a play-by-play. But I can't show that on YouTube. So, don't know how far they go on this. I'm pretty sure that the developers of this game will be tasteful about it, meaning there won't be anything I need to edit out, because I don't want to have to edit anything. Everyone's like, you're lazy. Like, I just don't want to do it. Everyone's like, have you designed the VTuber model yet? No. I haven't done anything with that, and I still haven't really learned how to... I want to learn how to speak German and Japanese, but I just really haven't got around to it. So... it's like Lunar, he has so many hobbies. He's also lazy and procrastinates. On the plus side, I've been sleeping better, so that's good. Okay, OBS Chan seems doing just fine. I've spent 10 minutes rambling about stuff that nobody would want to listen to. Then again, why would anybody be here wanting to watch this video anyway? But that being said, if you are here, I appreciate that you're here, and I hope you enjoy it, but I mainly just do this for myself. But if you're here too, that's awesome, and I think that's cool. That being said, again, yeah, feel free to suggest any games that are on Steam, because I'm not using an emulator. I refuse to use an emulator. But if there's any games on Steam that you think would be fun, that you would either like to see my reactions to, or that you legitimately think I would enjoy, or hopefully both, let me know. And I'll at least look it up on Steam. But, I'm not going to spend a ton of money on things. And I'm going to try to save money as much as I can. But if I see something and I think it looks really cool, I'll keep it in mind. Definitely wishlist it. And if it looks like really, really awesome, I might play it right away. If I'm like, ooh, I want to play that now and I can't wait. I was considering getting a game called Jump Jet T-Rex. Looked like a bit of the Rage platformer thing, but I just watched a little video made by a channel called Rooster Teeth about it, so I thought that was pretty fun. But yeah, main thing is this. We're going to do the second playthrough of this game. If you're interested in this game, honestly, I would strongly suggest watching the first 10 parts of this game. The first 9 parts are me doing the first playthrough, and the 10th part is me doing the extra chapter from Misa's perspective. The first time through, we played the game as, well, I guess the good ending path, where we romance Misa, and where we do good at things, we don't die that often, and we attempt to, I guess, make the world a better place, I guess. That counts like that. I also will be skipping a lot of text. Unless you guys would prefer I not, and let me know, at which point I'll consider it. But it's like everything that I've read a lot of the story already. I don't want to reread the same things over and over. How do I get over there? Let's just use this. Okay. Okay, so we have a skip enabled, so we can skip the scene text. So, and we'll have to reinitiate skipping after we make a choice if we want to, but usually, main thing I'm saying is this. On this second playthrough, I'm going to be purposely trying to make different choices than I did in the first playthrough, so that we can get different outcomes and different stories. Also, the incest of romancing our sister. So, yeah, the main question is this. If there is an episode 2 of Andy and Leyley, does anyone want to watch me play that? If there is a part 2 of Andy and Leyley, does anybody want to see that? Do you want to see me play it? But like I said, if you have any suggestions at all for any games, let me know and I'll at least look them up on Steam and see if they look interesting or cheap. Or both. What is the skip button? Well, I'll just have to figure that out. Oh no, like I said, I do like this game. I do like visual novels. I do like platformer games. Heck, I'd just like to be able to get a game similar to Super Mario World. I think that would be fun to play a game like Super Mario World. As far as... And like I said, Thumper or Nerve were interesting game ideas. But I want to play something new, but better. So, part of me hopes that there'd be like a Thumper 2 or a Nerve 2 or a game like that come out like maybe tomorrow, so I can get it brand new when it just comes out, and it'd be like, ooh, fresh. I don't know. But yeah, just, like I said, I've heard there's an episode 2 of Andy Leyley that's going to come out. I don't know if that's true. It could be just bullshit. But if there is, does anybody want to see me do that? Do you want to see it? Do you want to see me play it? Let's start a new game. Let's double check OBS, Chan. Make sure you're recording. Yep, everything looks like it's fine. Okay. We're going to start a new game. In this version, we'll make different choices. We will try to be an asshole to everyone. And we will fuck our sister. I know, that's... On the one hand, I would say that's something that nobody expected to hear in this video, but... I mean, we all read the title. But I'll say this. Misa is a really cool character. I really liked her on the Suo playthrough, and seeing things from her perspective, honestly, it was one of the best romances and love stories in a lot of games. So, Sweet Home Alabama, here we go. Murder, one of the most heinous crimes a person can commit. I don't know if I should reread everything or not. You know what? I'll reread everything. And if you guys let me know in the comments that you would prefer I don't reread everything, let me know. Now, if I were to play a game like Raging Loop all the way through, I would definitely, because, oh my god, so much reading. Like, same way when I played The Letter. It was a horror game that even though I skipped so much, it took me 80 hours to do the whole thing. And even then, there's still probably stuff I could have gone back more. So, I don't know if I should read everything. But how about this? If you guys want to hear everything read, I mean, I'll do it for the first few lines, I guess. The act of taking another human being's life. The act of robbing a person of their already limited time on this planet. I enjoy the music. How about this? At least for now, I think I'll read things as normal. But let me know in the comments if I should just skip already seen text. But yeah, in 10 minutes I might go back to skipping text. It is a fear-inducing crime which anybody can commit. Every housewife, every student, every police officer is a potential killer. It's a crime that doesn't discriminate by blood or circumstance. It is a crime which can be committed by and make victims of just about anyone. Everybody remains both a potential killer and victim, blissfully ignorant of the fact that they could be next, assuring themselves that it could never happen to them. And so, as a result of that naivete, those very people never see it coming. Though the scene before me may seem horrific, in this case, as with so many others, there was no great story behind it. There was no build-up, no resentment between the victim and myself, no mutual hatred that gave us a reason to fight. We didn't spend years at each other's throats. We'd never fought before, and neither one of us saw this coming. In reality, this is the result of a simple, common scenario, one we've all heard of before. Penny-pinching employer, a bankrupt employee, and a denied paycheck. Truly, there was nothing special about this encounter. My boss didn't taunt me or attempt to exacerbate the situation. He didn't fire me, insult me, or do anything to tempt fate. If anything, I'm the one who made things worse. Rather than try to reason with him, I lashed out, beating the pompous man in front of me to a bloody pulp. I'm not condoning this, but not saying I don't agree with him being pissed in the situation. I think a lot of people would actually do this. Or at least want to. Or at least fantasize about it. Because that'd be a bullshit thing. But I'm just saying, yeah. I think it's understandable. We'll go with that. I knew it wouldn't accomplish anything. I knew attacking him wouldn't get me the money I needed. And yet I need to punish him. That's right. As self-righteous as it sounds, I couldn't let him get away with what he did. The money that greedy bastard owed me, a pittance to him, was everything to me. It would have fed my sister and I, secured our lease for another month, perhaps even granted us a brief respite from the hell we're currently living. It was a shining beacon in our otherwise miserable lives, a way to ensure our survival during such a trying, stressful time. But because of that narcissist's whim, all hope I had of repairing my broken life vanished. He would deny me shelter, food, comfort, and for what? New seats for his car, a fancy watch, a new TV. And so, staring this injustice in the face, hearing firsthand how little my life meant to him, I snapped. Of course, as fitting as it may seem, to reciprocate his indifference to my life by taking his. Doing so was never my intention. True, I wanted to kill him. I wanted to make him suffer for belittling my life, for denying me even a moment of peace. But I realized then, as I can clearly see now, that lashing out wouldn't solve anything. So why did I do it? Why would I resort to this? Why would I deliberately choose this no-win situation? If I were to commit a criminal act, why resort to violence rather than theft? If this were truly about my wages, why seek revenge rather than alternative means of compensation? Unfortunately, there's only one answer I can give, in which I am confident. You're losing your mind. It isn't the first explanation that came to mind, but it does make sense. A few hours ago, I would have laughed at the cliche of a criminal blaming the voices in their head. Even more so at the notion that a person would act on the silent words of an unseen entity. However, as evidenced by the corpse at my feet, those words aren't so easy to ignore. As I attempted to survive in this two-class society, willfully believing that I was somehow immune to the corruption and classism plaguing this town, there was always a voice whispering to me, telling me not to believe the good fortune around me. A voice filled with skepticism and doubt, preempting the inevitable, telling me to take action before it was too late. But you didn't listen. That was my first mistake. I ignored the benevolent advice offered to me, the predictions now shown to be accurate, the good faith I received from someone asking for nothing in return. When it told me to stay in school and live with a guardian, when it told me to seek work elsewhere, when it told me to look for a home somewhere safer. I didn't listen. Every step of the way, I fought against the sound, logical advice it offered. If anything, I made a point of doing the opposite of what the voice told me to do, or at least until you heard what you wanted to hear. And that was my second mistake. It wasn't that I refused to heed the voice's advice. I simply wasn't interested in taking the safe, responsible route. So by the time that violence had become the advised course of action, my path had already been determined. But yeah, we'll go back to skipping through stuff. I just want to reread a little bit. Skip. Wee. How do I see... I was hoping to come up with a log. There's probably a button for that. I don't remember what it is. Anyway, where have you been? Usually you would have been home an hour ago. Shit, that's right. Given the situation, I hadn't even thought about what time it was. I'll try to answer opposite whatever I said in the past. Dismiss her question. Nah, better just play off. An excuse made up the spot would make her suspicious. Just at work, must last direct time. Anyway, did I miss anything? I will tease her. Wow, this is amazing. Hey, you really think so? Absolutely, make a great wife one of these days. Eh? Geez, what are you talking about? Who would be a great wife? Don't sell your short. She shall, sparkle, she short. Don't sell yourself short, my dear sister. Any guy would be lucky to have you. Though I suppose your attitude and sense of style could use some work. Do you really think that? Wait, what was that? You're the last person in the world who should be lecturing me on my style. Now, I meant it as a compliment. How is that a compliment? Ha, now this is more like it. Sarah's so much fun to tease. She's really easy to wind up. Whatever the case, it really is nice to be eating real food again. What are you talking about? It's only been a couple weeks, you know. For you maybe, but I've gone a month on hospital food. Okay. Actually, Marcus does have a point. If I learned how to fight professionally and proceeded to bet on myself, I could make a lot of money. It would also give me an outlet, somewhere to vent my frustration rather than on unsuspecting victims like Mudao. But that's the best case scenario. Realistically, I might even... Okay, I think we're repeating stuff now. Oh, I actually am. Okay, we're... Japanese dude. The Jap. Rather not make a bet with Marcus, but I guess can't hurt to make mistakes. Alright then. Guess Macho Man is mine. The bets have been placed. Let's do a save. We will do it from the other. I don't know what this is about. We'll go here. Turn to game. I'm gonna sleep longer. Why shouldn't I? It's not like I have anything else to do today. Let's laze around and doze off. Oi, don't ignore me. Doze off. Get up, damn it! Ah, my ears. I'm right here for pity's sake. Get it already, I'm up. Honestly, why does this girl hate sleep so much? Alright, now that everyone's up and awake, what do you think? Sarah half turned her body from side to side, causing her skirt to chase her body's movements. What do I think? Of your school uniform. Surely I'm missing something here. There's no way her question is as simple as it sounds. There must be some kind of secondary question hidden behind a layer of teenage girl code. Honestly, there are limits to how ignorant you can be. We've been wearing the same clothes every day for the past weeks. How could you not notice? We have? But wait, there are always clean clothes when I get out of the shower. She's been wearing my underwear? Wait, you've been wearing my underwear? Eh? Then no, that's... Don't tell me you haven't been washing yours. Of course I have. But if you weren't wearing mine while yours are in the wash, then... You dirty girl. Stop it! Walking around without underwear on. What a pervert. Cuh. Alright, fine, I was wearing your underwear, okay? The point is, we don't have to do that anymore. Sarah swung open our wardrobe and displayed an array of outfits, all brand new and still bearing the original tags. Pretty sure we made this option last time. Let's see what happens here. Not bad, but needs to be shorter. Huh? Hey, what do you think you're doing? Stop that, that's not... Before Sarah could stop me, I hiked her skirt up a few inches, exposing her thighs to an audience of one. As she started to resist, I pulled her shirt over her head, preventing my sister from fighting back. There, much better. I wouldn't go outside, though. You don't want a criminal record at your age. While Sarah was attempting to remove her shirt from over her head, I dashed past her and headed straight into the bathroom. Coward! Get back here! As I entered the bathroom, I immediately turned on the shower, hoping to drown out my sister's faint yelling. When I did so, however, my mind turned from the joyful interaction toward a far more worrying topic. As much as I wanted to spend the morning teasing Sarah and enjoying myself, I already know that today is going to suck. We hyperspeed. Oh, that's, I should be saying we during fucking gunshots to the face. Oh god. That's, okay, wow, that was fast paced. Okay, this is a lot of, epileptic. This is epilepsy versus, okay, I don't know what's going on. A lot happened. A lot of things happened. Play along. Yeah, I saw some of that on the news earlier. 2 criminals, apparently one was crippled for life, the other died. That's not all. Police found a camcorder that the victims were using to tape their crimes. The one who survived is going straight to jail. I will never be able to hurt anyone ever again. It's a little scary how happily she said that. Or so I'd think, if I didn't know what her encounters with them had been like. I was a little shaken up when I thought that I'd killed 2 of them, when I learned that I really had killed the younger one, but now I'm just sorry that I didn't take care of them sooner. Scum like that deserve far worse. Ah, that's great. Did they say what kind of stuff had been recorded on the video? Like their attacker's face, for example? No sooner the words left out, Sarah's expression stiffened. Thinking about the crimes they had recorded was enough to put a temporary damper on her mood. The 2 of them were abducting schoolgirls and... Ah, fuck me. Why did I have to go and say that? It's obviously not something Sarah wants to think about. Oh, let's see. In that case, the other one probably won't survive very long. Prisoners don't take kindly to those who prey on underage victims, you know? Heh, hee hee. What's so funny? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Thanks for trying to cheer me up. Well, I'd rather have her laughing with me than at me, but whatever works, I guess. Ah, that's right. As it turns out, the police have a girl from the grave beneath me in protective custody. Apparently, the person responsible for the attack will come back and finish her off. That's ridiculous. If I wanted to hurt her, I would have already done so. I think it's stupid. I mean, if the attacker wanted her, wouldn't they have done so by the time of the attack? Huh, maybe Sarah and I are more alike than I thought. I already found it weird that Sarah was agreeing with some actions of a criminal. Now she's thinking like one, too. I can understand the 2 of us sharing similar thought patterns. We're twins, after all, and we've lived together our entire lives. But when it comes to topics like crime, honestly, it's the first time I've seen Sarah actually get excited over assault and murder. She's always considered them ghastly acts. Ones which she used to complain about when I was so much watched as on television. So for the same gentle girl now to be happy about the death and crippling of 2 young men. So, what kind of person do you think the attacker was? We've been discussing it at school since. Do you think it was just coincident, or was the attacker after those 2 from the beginning? Okay, I have not read this. If that were the case, I probably would have done a better job. I wish, if that had been the case. I'm not sure. Don't be afraid to be wrong. Come on, what do you think? Was the attacker just a criminal, or was it a vigilante? Vigilante? Well, that is an interesting take on the matter. Batman! I don't regret my actions about it in the slightest, but while I don't feel bad about it, I can't bring myself to feel particularly good about it either. The branding of a vigilante, however, if people think of my actions as those of vigilante, then isn't that confirmation that others sees my actions as justified? Well, they didn't find any fingerprints or anything, right? I mean, if the attack was spontaneous, chances are they wouldn't have been caught. I really don't think it was just a random criminal. Sarah mulled over my argument for a second before nodding at her head in agreement. As expected of my brother, you arrived at the same conclusion I did. Phew, glad to hear it. Sometimes I'm really not sure whether or not I subscribe to the same reason and logic as everyone else, so it's nice to get confirmation that my conclusion made sense. With that being said, what do you think about... Hello? Okay. Wee! Oh, not wee. Yay! Oh, not yay. Do something perverted. Well, that's one way to derail a conversation. La-di-da. Okay, we took our shirt off. What the hell are you doing? It's awfully hot in here, isn't it? Not even remotely. Come on, join me. Eh? But wait a second, what are you... No, stop that, I don't want to. Developers of the game, there better not be nudity. Because then I have to edit that, and I don't want to have to edit anything. Don't make me have to censor anything. I don't want to have to put giant blurry squares and rectangles all over the screen. There, much better. This is still allowable. We're not seeing nipples, or vagina, or actual sex. So I don't have to censor anything. But I imagine everyone out there watching this video is currently also in their underwear with their arms crossed, giving me that look. So, yay, Lunar D8 is disappointing his audience. They're all just like, are we really doing this? I'm like, yes, we are doing the perverted path in the game. I still have to say, like, if you guys want to see episode 2 of Andy and Leyley, the coffin of Andy and Andrew and Ashley and all that, let me know. Heck, let me know if you'd actually want to see me actually play the first game, even though I already know what happens. I mean, it wouldn't be a blind through, so I'm like, wouldn't it be boring? Then again, is anyone actually entertained watching this right now? Like I said, I feel you're all just giving me that look, like, really? Really, Lunar? This is what we're doing now? I'm like, yes. But yeah, episode 2 of Andy and Leyley. Coffin of Andy and Leyley. Should I play it? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. You pervert. Honestly, can't you ever just be straight with me? If something happened at work and you want to talk about it, just say so. Ha, if only it were that simple. But stuff I don't want to talk about is nothing like she's expecting. It's like, okay. We. Like a... Okay. Save. Return to game. Spare. Still clutching the blade in my hands, I shook my head. Despite my method of entry and obvious readiness to dispose of Lucia, her death was not necessary. She only needed to be silenced, not killed. You aren't? Then does that mean... Hearing that her life would be spared, Lucia's lips curled into a smile. Okay, I feel like this is adorable, but I feel like the first time on the game I would have done this. So, okay. Like, I feel like on my first playthrough I was trying my best. Like, I even was bitching at the developers of the game that I couldn't spare her. And that I was upset by it. Because I didn't want to kill her. Only two things have changed. One, this is my second playthrough. Which means maybe there are extra story events or options available on your second playthrough that do not exist on your first. Because I know I would have tried for this path of not killing her on the first time through the game. I distinctly remember making a chicken nugget related joke about how I was trying not to kill her, but was not given any options to not do so, at least that I remember. I felt like I was pretty much forced to do so and that there were no other options in the game. The fact that this has happened proves one of two things happens. Either there's a flag event that occurs when you get past beating the game, which means after beating the game one time through and getting the good ending, where, you know, we live happily ever after with Misa, that we're given options to spare people's lives. Or it could be that the flag isn't activated till after you play the extra chapter with Misa. Or it could be that even from playthrough 1 it was possible to do this, but the only way to make it possible that I don't slit this girl's throat is that I'm being perverted and trying to fuck my sister. Because that's the only thing I've done different. The only choices that I have made different have been being flirty and, forward when it comes to Sarah. So, yeah. So it turns out that we're not allowed to spare this woman's life unless we have gone the Sweet Home Alabama path in the game. Either that, it's just a second playthrough thing. Either way, yay! I don't have to kill people. No one will have to die in this playthrough. What about the stuff that happened when you were yelling "we"? Yeah, about that. Hearing that her life would be spared, Lucia's lips... Am I even pronouncing that? That's one of the characters out of Chrono Trigger, right? Get a drink. Hearing that her life would be spared, Lucia's lips curled into a smile. The fear left her eyes, and she stared at me with unexpected affection. You came to visit me, hee. I sighed and scratched my head. Honestly, what's wrong with this girl? I break into her room wielding a knife, and she giggles and smiles. I may not be in a position to talk, but Lucia is clearly not normal. I concealed my knife and stepped away from Lucia's bed. Geez, how can you smile like that after all the trouble you've caused me? Yeah, it's like I said, it's only one of two things. Either the game changed because I already beat it, and then this is an option that only exists on your second playthrough, meaning you're required to kill on your first. Or it means that I'm allowed to spare people's lives if I go the Andy and Leyley path. Everyone's like, there's still no cannibalism. I don't know, maybe that's something else they'll change in the game. Jeez, how can you smile after all the trouble like that, after all the trouble you caused me? Trouble? You mean to say I've inconvenienced you in some way? Analyzing Lucia's worried expression and voice, I could find no reason to doubt her sincerity. Lucia honestly did not understand how she had caused me any grief. Let me put it this as simply as I can. Every time you so much as confirm my existence, you cause me unnecessary pain. You've spoken to your friends at school, the police, you went so far as to appear on television. Not only that, have you been putting words in my mouth, you also keep changing your story, and you've completely distorted the truth. You have been compromising my safety from the moment I saved you, and if you continue to do so... I began to reach for the knife behind my back. Please, wait, you don't understand. Everything I said, everything I did, it was all for you. Shh, keep it down. People need to know what you did. You're a hero. If I don't tell people your side of the story, then who will? I said be quiet. Look, I understand what you're trying to do, okay? And I appreciate that you want to pay me back. But the thing is, I don't want people to know what I did. I committed extremely serious crimes, the type for which I would go to prison forever with no hope of release. So please, just keep it to yourself. Don't tell anyone else about what happened. Let it be our little secret. I don't know. Would you go to jail in that situation? I mean, obviously the thing where you, bashed your boss's head in, but then again, that was justified, but that was also... I can see how that would be illegal. But, you literally stopped people from raping somebody. How is that... obviously, there are laws dictating things with vigilante stuff, but... I know controversial take, but... rapists should die. Yeah, is that really considered illegal at that point? Obviously you have to consult the law and what's the actual legal take? Imagine a lawyer listening to this, just write out a paragraph, okay, here's the actual thing. No, you're not allowed to kill people. I'm technically that's defense. They were going to rape and murder this girl. Rape is bad, murder is bad. So, at that point, there was no way of getting the cops to save her. And had we even gone for help, by the time we came back, she would have been raped and murdered. And let's be clear, murdering an innocent person is a horrible crime, and rape is disgusting. If a person's raped anybody, they should die. Forcing yourself on another person is never acceptable. It's disgusting and it's horrible, and you should die for that. That being said, is it illegal to kill a rapist? I mean, if it's considered retaliatory, I guess that could be seen under certain vigilante laws. But even then, is that really wrong? I mean, it's probably technically illegal, but I don't think it should be illegal. But that's, again, a gray area where it's like, honestly, I think it's not wrong. But there would be certain laws saying that, no, you can't go around killing rapists. That being said, it's a different thing if they're in the middle of actually committing the horrible act, and you killing them is done solely to protect someone else from being raped and to protect someone else from being murdered. At that point, it's kind of like the idea of, if you go down the street and just shoot somebody in the face with a shotgun, obviously that's cold-blooded murder and wrong. Same regard if you're in traffic and someone cuts you off. You can't just start shooting at their car. Or if you're at a Walmart and someone flips you off and tells you, horrible slurs that hurt your feelings. You can't just shoot them. Yes, they're being very rude to you and saying very bad things. But you can't just shoot them. That would be considered very illegal, and perhaps a disproportionate response. But in the same regard, if you're at a Walmart and someone's trying to murder and rape someone else at the middle of the Walmart, and you shoot the person trying to rape somebody, I mean, because at that point, did you have a way to stop them from doing that wasn't shooting them? The answer is no. Even if you went out to attack them, even if it was one-on-one, there's a good chance, because most of the people that would probably commit such a thing usually probably would have a weapon, I would imagine. The main thing is in a one-on-one fight, you're going to lose. It's kind of the same thing again. Obviously, you should do everything you can to avoid shooting people, but of course there's certain laws, like the stand your ground stuff and castle laws. So say if you're in your house, and 5 armed people come in your house, break in your house, why shouldn't you be allowed to shoot them all? Now, don't get me wrong, I've never killed anyone in my life, and, well, my obsession with the macabre aside, I prefer to live my life as a pacifist. I don't want to ever hurt anybody. The only times I've ever had to actually hurt anybody was in self-defense or in defense of another, and even then, I never killed anyone. That being said, 5 people break in your house with guns, I'm pretty sure you can't just go around your house with a baseball bat or hide in the closet or run, because you won't survive. At the end of the day, not only are those people there to rob you, but at the end of the day, they're not going to want a witness. So if people break in your house, more than likely, not best case scenario, is extremely unlikely. More than likely, if someone breaks into a house and you're there, they're going to try to kill you. So why shouldn't you be allowed to defend yourself? But of course, there's different countries, different laws. Heck, there's some countries where people aren't allowed to really have guns. I still think it'd be interesting. What if, England, the United Kingdom, all of Britain, what if the UK became the 51st state of America, and everyone in England had the Second Amendment, as well as all the other parts of the Constitution? And everyone's like, well, what do you want out of it? I don't know, I hear there's a lot of universal healthcare shit going on over there. Maybe some better, medical coverage and cheaper medicine. Shit's expensive. But I'm just saying, that's not a crime, right? Like someone breaks into your house and you kill them because they would have killed you. Though, that being said, in that situation, usually, in that sort of situation, if there's a dead body, you're going to be calling the cops. Like, hey, this thing happened. I don't know how to clean this. And I don't want to because it's gross. Could you please come here with, forensic people? Also, so I can, hey, see? There's proof that these people broke in my fucking home. I didn't hurt innocent people. These are people that were, hurting other people. But of course, as I said, there's lots of legal issues on this, and it varies not just from country to country, but even from state to state here in America. But the main point being is this. Someone breaks in your house trying to kill you, which I guess is kind of an odd juxtaposition given what the current scenario of the game is. Main point being is this. There are times where killing someone is justified, but of course, that's always something to be measured response. Also, I'm not condemning or condoning it. I'm not encouraging anyone to be violent. I'm just saying, if stuff happens, you should defend yourself. And if you see someone else in danger, you should defend them. Beyond that, I understand there's people, especially people in military stuff, there's situations where stuff happens that's unavoidable. And honestly, a lot of that stuff, I don't understand. So, all I can say is that, yeah, shit happens. It's life. But, as far as, obviously, you shouldn't be a vigilante, if he's, going out, I'm gonna start stalking the nights with a knife, trying to find would-be criminals and saving people. Well, at that point, he's actually going out looking for it. Which I think there's actually laws against that. But it's another thing entirely. Say, if you're just going to a bar, and then you see somebody drug some girl and they're going to try to force themselves on her, and then you hit them in the head with a glass and knock them out. That's a different scenario. Especially since, everybody's fine afterward. Like I said, it's just, again, like I said, people break in your house, you can defend yourself. You see someone trying to murder an innocent person or rape them, you can't just attack them with your fists. Here's the thing, guys, I may try to copy some of Mike Tyson's boxing routines for, health purposes, but I will have several things worth to say after I have to burp. Drink some water. 1, I am not an athlete. I'm still fat. I'm not growing any muscle, which is disappointing. 2, even though I enjoy fighting animes and mangas, I am not a skilled fighter. Most of the fights I've been in my life have consisted of 5v1s in which I was getting my ass kicked. It sucks getting your head stomped on and getting beaten with bricks and shit. That hurts. There's times where I've gotten punched thousands of times. Like I said, and again, oh, you suck at fighting. Well, fuck you. I'm sorry I can't win a 5v1 fight against people that are all taller than me. Fuck you. The main point is this. Even if you're a skilled fighter, fighting someone with just your fisticuffs, heck, even if you have brass knuckles, is extremely dangerous. Heck, I would say even if you have a weapon, it's dangerous. You know what my best advice to not get killed in a street fight is? Don't get into street fights! Avoid the shit! Stay away from places. Heck, if you know a part of a city's got a lot of crime, or a certain street is, or a certain time of day or night, don't go there. Though I understand some people's lives, you don't have that option. I'm just saying, if you have the option, don't go to a dangerous place. Don't go to a place that is dangerous. Like me, there's lots of places in the big cities that I will not go to, especially not at nighttime, because I do not consider that shit safe. I do not want to get shot in the middle of the night and mugged. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy looking at the stars, I enjoy walking around, but that's more areas near the woods and stuff. Last thing I want to do is get fucking mugged and shit. It's like, oh, now I've been stabbed and my wallet's gone. The main point I'm saying is this. Yes, there are certain legal rules to our society, and everyone should try to obey the laws of whatever country they live in, and try to do whatever is right by the laws and justice of your land, whatever bullshit, public disclaimer bullshit. But this is not legal advice, and if anybody acts on this, I hold no responsibility for it. If anyone chooses to act on this, that's your call. I feel people that would rape anyone deserve to die. I feel anybody that would force themselves on another person, or drug somebody to take advantage of them, or violently attack somebody in order to force themselves sexually on another person, I think anybody that would rape another person should die. And I think if you see someone in the middle of raping anybody, you should be allowed to kill them with whatever weapon is available. Now, that being said, maybe you shouldn't use a super high caliber gun, because at that point, that's the sort of thing that you shoot the bullet next to somebody's head, even if you miss it, the pressure from it's enough to fucking still kill them. Which means if they're in the middle trying to hurt somebody, especially in such a disgusting way, they're going to be really close. So if you start shooting at a rapist with a fucking anti-tank rifle round, you're going to kill everyone else around them, including the victims. I'm just saying, it's like, oh, I'm Batman, and it's like, oh, there's an innocent person. Don't worry, Spider-Man, I will help you. I have this special power. It's called Pacifist Punch. And Spider-Man just like watches, like, oh my god, what were you thinking? Like, what? You threw a grenade at them. I had to stop the villains. You can't just explode. It's like, what's in that box? It's a box of grenades. It's like, why is it half full? Well, it'd be all the way full. It's like, why do you have like so many? Well, I'd have more, but I've been using them all night. Spider-Man just looks down the street, seeing all the carnage. It's like, that's not how this works. I'm a superhero. Then I hop on a bicycle and fall over. Yes, I can't ride a bicycle. My sense of balance is terrible. Heck, major reason I dislike heights is because I know if I'm up on a roof or something, I'm going to fall over. I've been in a plane before and I wasn't scared of heights. I actually enjoyed looking at the clouds. Because in the day, I know that no matter how clumsy I am, I'm not going to trip so bad I fall out of the fucking plane. Also, why is there no TV here? She doesn't have a television. There's no Super Nintendo. I still want a game on Steam that's like Super Mario World. But yeah, that's the main point I'm just trying to say, is that I think anybody that would rape anybody should be dead. I think if you see somebody trying to rape somebody, you should be allowed to kill them. But I don't write the laws. So, yeah, just be mindful of whatever laws exist in your land and nation, whatever, and do whatever you think is right. And yeah, then again, I don't know. Probably shouldn't take advice from me because I'm just some crazy guy on the internet. It's like, what did Bluter do with his day? I walked on a bike trail and I played a game about where people stab each other. That's it. I play video games. I'm a crazy random dude who plays video games. I also like music, and I want to learn how to speak German and Japanese. But I don't know if I'll ever do it. Okay, I'll try to get down to making the fucking VTuber model after this video, okay? So after this video, I'll try to sit down, I'll stop procrastinating, okay? Everyone's like, are you sure? Like, hey, I'll play more Deep Rock Galactic, okay? But I will try to sit down and actually try to look at that VTuber model stuff and try to make some changes to it. And I will try to at least learn how to pronounce the German words for those German songs. Keine Liebe and Volkrafts, whatever kind of bullshit pronunciations. But yeah, I'm just saying, you should be allowed to kill rapists. Like, it's disgusting. rape is wrong. At no point should it be okay for anyone to rape somebody or to force themselves on somebody or to drug them. Like, at no point should anybody be pulling Bill Cosby bullshit. I still think that's kind of funny, though, the regard that he wrote books. You're like, everyone's like, what do you mean you found it funny? He wrote a book called Love and Marriage. You're like, if you think that's not funny, look at the title. Look, not just the name. Look at the cover art. The cover art is just a face of, like, it's the big capitals of it saying love and marriage. It's a book about how to have a happy, healthy, well-functioning relationship with a woman. Written by Bill Cosby. The cover of it is just, it's a garden of roses and flowers and, oh, romantic happy things. And it's just Bill Cosby smiling. Which in of itself is not really, like, only a tiny bit creepy. Just like it's just Bill Cosby's head. Just, oh, smiley and happy. And in of itself, it's not bad. But when you know the context, you're like, oh my god. It's something that, when it initially came out, really wasn't... It was innocuous. It was just inconspicuous. And now it's like fridge horror. It's something that, when it was first made, wasn't terrifying. And now that it's had time to sit in the fridge and age a bit, given recent events that happened like a decade ago, you're like, oh my god, this is fucking terrifying now. This is fridge horror. And it's just, oh my god. It's fucked up. It's kind of like the Happy Tree Friends, or the Smile, or people reacting to, like, rage TikToks and stuff like that, where, like, watch people react like, oh, watch people die inside, because, like, oh no, this stupid thing occurs that surprises us, or, oh, watch me flip this sandwich, oh no, it's on the ground. I'm just saying, given the context of everything, just seeing a face of Bill Cosby in a bed of roses, smiling with a super wide, creepy smile, with the title Love and Marriage, knowing that Bill Cosby wrote a book telling people how to have a successful marriage and family, and how to have a healthy relationship with a woman, is insane. But I'm just saying this. Anybody doing what, like, Bill Cosby did, like, if you're drugging somebody to, you know, do disgusting things to them, or if you're going to, like, physically force yourself on someone and assault someone, that's not okay. You should die. Rape is disgusting. Forcing yourself onto another person against their will is fucking wrong. And it's disgusting. Like I told you, I go off on tangents. What is that book? Is that a Bible? What are all those books? Suddenly, quiet once more, Lucia stared at me in surprise as she processed my last statement. Our little secret? You mean what happened that day? How you saved me? That could be a secret that only we share? It could have been if you hadn't already blabbed that to everyone who would listen. Yeah, but I never told them anything important. They don't know what you look like, what you sound like, or anything about you. I even cleaned your fingerprints off the tripod. Doesn't that count for something? I examined Lucia's panicked face once more. Just like before, she appeared to be completely sincere. She would not knowingly say or do anything to cause me further inconvenience. Unfortunately, whether she was sincere or not, I knew I couldn't trust her promise alone. Eep? Wasn't she standing a moment ago? You know, I was hoping we weren't going to murder people. But it appears we're murdering people. I thought we chose the path of chicken nuggets, where everyone got to live happily, and no one bled. Except for the people I didn't like, but still. Well, I thought we were going to get through this without killing anyone. That doesn't appear to be a thing that's going to be a choice. Quiet. I pushed Lucia down under her bed and threw the sheets over her, trapping her arms underneath. I then positioned myself on top of her, restricting her movements as I removed the knife from behind my back. Keep your mouth shut and listen to me. This may seem like a game to you, but my freedom is what's on the line here. I don't care what you think the things you tell people aren't anything important. One slip of the tongue is all it would take for my world to come crashing down. Are we gonna cut her tongue out? That's extreme. No, that's not okay. And I'm not going to let that happen. I've already fallen too far to let someone like you be the end of me. So from now on, as far as you're concerned, I do not exist. And if you cannot get that through your thick skull, then I rested my knife just above Lucia's skin. I will do to you what I did to the two who attacked you. Lucia stared at me with a nervous smile on her face. I'm confused now. Is it just like anxiety taking hold here? She's just like nervously sort of having a mental shutdown? I mean, that's understandable. This would be a very stressful situation. You're kidding. You wouldn't do that. You saved me. You wouldn't hurt me. Inge. Don't be so sure about that. Starting below her collarbone, I began to cut Lucia's flesh. That's kind of close to veins and stuff. I opted for somewhere easy to cover with clothing, and not likely to bleed profusely. The moment I removed my knife, the shallow wound began to dribble beads of blood. You're mistaken about me being your savior or some kind of hero. I'm a criminal, a despicable person who deserves scorn, and who should be feared. So keep your mouth shut or I really will kill you. Sniff, I understand. You won't tell anybody else about what happened that day. I won't. What will you do if the police question again or a reporter approaches you? I'll keep my mouth shut. Perfect. Concealing my knife once more, I got off Lucia's bed and let her go free. Lucia quickly wiped off the blood from her chest, then pulled up her shirt in an attempt to hide the cut. Her face remained contorted as Lucia wiped away her tears, trying her best not to cry out as relief and misery both washed over her. Shit, I know I needed to keep Lucia quiet, but surely I could have gone easier on her. It's not Lucia's fault that she got wrapped up in all this. She's a victim, not some delinquent who needed to be set straight. All I've done tonight is scare a defenseless young girl. Without looking back at Lucia's distraught expression, I walked over to the windowsill and prepared to leave. Oh well, what's done is done. Hopefully Lucia will wake up in the morning and forget that any of this... But wait. Where are you going? Are you leaving? I turned around to see Lucia addressing me with tearful eyes. It's late. I'm going home. I see. Well, sweet dreams. Come visit me again sometime? What the hell? Is this girl even listening to herself? I shook my head as I tried to brush off Lucia's ridiculous statement. I'm leaving. I know. Have a safe trip. Whatever. I don't have time for this shit. The next day. Sunday morning, September 25th. What? Why are we back? Though my time with Lucia was brief, I couldn't dismiss her beating so easily. I'd gone to see her in the middle of the night, armed and ready to kill her, only to then threaten her before leaving peacefully. My conscience caused me to take pity on her, to see her as an innocent victim, and as a result, I was in more danger than ever. Our time together during her rescue was brief, but the visit I paid her was not. Lucia clearly saw my face and heard my voice. There's no doubt in my mind that she would now recognize me on the street, or in a police lineup. And to make matters worse, I gave her a reason to want me behind bars. Though I felt bad for her at the time, by now I realized how foolish I had been. Paying Lucia a visit made sense only if I did so in order to kill her. Leaving her alive with a fresh image of my face was about the dumbest thing I could have possibly done. Maybe it's not too late. Lucia did ask me to visit her again soon, and it's not like last night was my only chance to dispose of her. Perhaps I should sneak out during the night once more, armed with my knife and outfit. I don't mind getting bloody. And the resolve to kill. As I continued to indulge in dangerous thoughts, nightfall finished consuming the sky, bringing an end to my predominantly uneventful day. Sarah plowed through her homework, caught up on some reading, and still had some time to roast chicken for dinner. Though I worried that Sarah might be pushing herself to act normal, it seems my fears were unfounded. Unlike me, Sarah had no heinous thoughts weighing on her mind. She was able to return to her usual routine and her frame of mind with ease, making me feel silly for worrying about her. Right up until the moment Sarah fell asleep, she seemed like her usual self, completely free of the drama I had introduced into our lives. Once Sarah was sound asleep, I quickly slipped out of bed, carefully placing her arms around a pillow in my stead. I tiptoed through the living room, then made my way to the door, remaining as quiet as I possibly could. Sorry to do this to you again so soon, Sarah, but tonight I have something important to take care of. We save. Well, this will probably be a game over because he'll probably shoot me once I say no. Okay, we're gonna get shot. I can't do it. What do you mean you can't? Sir, please adjust. No matter how badly I need money, can't risk getting killed or imprisoned. I need a safe job so I can continue to look after my family. Besides, I'm not sure if I have it in me to kill people indiscriminately. I agree that some people are better off dead, but if I know that someone has done nothing wrong, I don't know if I can be counted on to go through with it. Furthermore, if I start working nights, I won't be able to see my family at all. As things are, we only have mornings and afternoons together. So if I start working late at night, sigh. Cut the crap, would you? Sir? You can't risk getting killed or imprisoned? Don't make me laugh. How many people have you threatened or extorted on my behalf? You may not view that as such, but those are still serious crimes. First, I should address your baseless belief that you don't have it in you to kill people indiscriminately. As recall, you've already killed your fair share of innocent people. Isn't that how you wound up working for me to begin with? No, that's... And what's this nonsense about not wanting to work nights? Not once have I said you need to do that. Eh? But I thought for sure I'd be... I haven't even told you what kind of work you'd be doing yet. How would you know something like that? And even if hypothetically your new job did mean you're doing what you seemed so fond of, it wouldn't be the first time you killed in broad daylight. Fond of? Me, fond of killing. What is this guy saying? Of course, if you're really that worried about being there for your family, or rather, your sister, then I could always arrange to have her attending boarding school. Would that not solve the problem? Damn it, Carson really isn't leaving me any room to argue. I never had a choice since, did I? I understand. I gratefully accept your job offer. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. Beer. Okay, so I don't think that affected anything. I don't know. Don't care. We've already done that stuff. We've already seen that other option. Save point. Take Sarah against her will. Right, where are my manners? Huh? Wait a second, what the heck? What are you doing? Put me down. I grabbed a handful of $100 notes from the envelope and carried Sarah with me. You're okay to go out like this, right? What are you talking about? Where are we going? I'll take that as a yes. Although it took a while for Sarah to calm down, I inevitably achieved the impossible. With Sarah over my shoulder, my barefooted sister and I soon arrived at the crowded mall near her school, ready for a day of female indulgence in the form of shopping. I brought Sarah here in the hopes of improving her mood with the fruits of my labor, and for the way things are going, I'd say my plan was a success. But when she's here barefoot, we need to buy her some shoes. And some socks. After all, it's hard to complain about someone else's actions when you yourself wind up benefiting from them. As mature and selfless as Sarah tries to act, she's ultimately a teenage girl, and the temptation to spend my hard-earned cash quickly proved too great for her to resist. Her excitable nature took over within minutes of entering the first store. Look, all of their clothes are half price. Can we go? Can we? Even if it burns a hole in my wallet, my goal here is to keep Sarah occupied and happy. Don't give her a moment to think about how I obtained the money. Just keep her mind elsewhere. Besides, even if she should have had a hard time burning through 12 grand. I think I read that poorly. Besides, even she should have a hard time burning through 12 grand. Unfortunately, there's no way that it'll be that simple. Sarah's too smart not to see through such an obvious attempt. But even if she understands, she can't resist. She has too much to gain by playing along. And at heart, she's very possessive. Regardless, I really need to start thinking things through. All I told Korosu was that Sarah expected my pay to arrive Monday on a fortnightly basis. I never said anything about the amount or how it should be handled. I mean, really, 12 grand just appearing at home in an A4 envelope? That's beyond suspicious. Maybe I should go to Karsu while Sarah's at school tomorrow. I can't afford to have a repeat of this moron. Hey, are you listening? Sorry, what were we saying? Jeez, stop spacing out. I was saying that we should go to a mobile phone store next and finally get you a... Suo? Sarah? Oh my god, it is them! I don't think I saw you guys last time. While Sarah was... I think I saw one of them? I don't know. While Sarah was beginning to get amped up about the next destination, 3 strangers around our age suddenly approached us. Okay. I didn't recognize any of them, but from the way they greeted Sarah and I, they seemed to know us. Just when I thought things couldn't get any more complicated, I guess Sarah isn't the only one skipping school today. Dude, where have you been? You just quit school and ditched your friends? The male of the group approached me, opening with a line that made it sound like we knew one another. However, as someone with particularly no friends throughout school, I was certain that we had never met, let alone been friends. Sarah, what's up, girl? I thought you said you were too busy to hang out. While the male spoke, the 2 girls looked towards Sarah. Rather than focus on the relationship with Sarah, however, I found myself pondering the meaning behind the first girl's statement. Too busy to hang out? What? They mean right now? If these 3 want to skip school, that's their problem. But trying to pressure an honor student like Sarah is another matter entirely. Just who the hell do these people think they are? What I meant was my brother and I are spending the day together, so we... Great idea. Now we can all hang out and catch up on lost time. Not happening. If they want to give me crap about quitting school or say hello to Sarah, that's fine. That I can deal with. But I'm not spending the day with these 3 just to keep some false friendship they seem to remember, nor am I going to indulge their curiosity. I'd rather ruin Sarah's morning than waste my time with people like them. Sarah and I have to go. I promised that I'd take her to buy some things for school. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, maybe some other time. Don't be so cold, man. Come on, let's go see a movie or something. Yeah, it's been like forever since we all hung out together. No, we've never hung out together, I guarantee it. No, we really do have to go. Sorry. Sarah squeezed my hand tight as we spoke. You just don't want to share your brother with the rest of us, am I right? Not that I blame you. Good grief. They just won't give up, will they? What do I have to do to get rid of these 3? You know what you must do. Question. Should you listen to the voices in your head? Let me know in the comments. Look, we didn't come here to socialize. I'm going to buy Sarah some things for school, and then we're going to leave. Who do you think you're kidding? The 2 of you aren't even wearing shoes. Are you serious? Whoa, you're right. I never knew the Teslas were poor. The antagonism will only escalate. That I actually know from experience. People suck. So that's it, Sarah. You simply can't afford to go to the movies with us. Let me guess, your deadbeat parents left and Suo failed to pick up the slack? I figured something like that would happen sooner or later with a worthless brother like yours. It was only a matter of time before your parents wised up and vacated. I remained unmoving, determined not to respond to petty words the person before me or the voices in my head. Sarah, however, didn't seem to be coping so well. She glared at the boy angrily, holding her fists at her side. See, that's the problem with people like you, Suo. You bring misfortune to everyone around you, dragging them down to your level. You have no friends, no motivation, and you've always picked fights with others. You really are a hopeless case. Even people who pretended to like you were always... Did you kick him in the nuts? Good job! And everyone's like, well, that's technically assault. She hit him. And I'm like, he deserved it. Shut up. You shut the hell up right now. Don't you dare talk about my brother like that. Ugh, damn it. Finally unable to listen in silence any longer, Sarah kneed the young man in the testicles, immediately putting an end to his tirade. Yeah, I feel that's justified. Good for you, Sarah. And everyone's, like I said, everyone's like, oh, that's assault. She attacked him. I'm like, he deserved it. He doubled over in pain, clutching his groin and moaning inaudibly. So Sarah, what the heck are you? Stay out of this, you fucking whore. Well, what was that? Before I could give in to temptation, Sarah lashed out, venting on the 3 students before us in my place. I held her back, trying to save Sarah from herself, but her targets failed to take the hint. Yeah, just what is your problem, you psychopath? Every time your brother's name comes up, you go nuts. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Stay away from my brother, all of you. If you don't, I'll take those heels of yours and stick them right up your... Okay, we're leaving. Once we put a considerable distance between ourselves and the interlopers, and we both had time to calm down, Sarah and I resumed our day of shopping. We moved to another mall further away from school, and bought new clothes, ate lunch, browsed various kitchen supplies, and at long last we started trying on what we should have bought first. Shoes. Those look nice. No, but those are on special, so, maybe. Come on already, they're just shoes. Shouldn't we buy socks first? Aha. How do these look? Expensive. They suit you. Heh, you really think so? How can she be happy over shoes truly is beyond me. Not that I really care if Sarah's mood has improved. That's good enough for me. Still, there is one thing we should clear up before ending this little shopping trip. Sarah, about before. Huh? I'm sorry things turned out like that. I understand if you'd rather spend the day with your friends than your brother. My friends? I barely know those people. I don't even know their names. Really? What was that stuff the girl was saying about refusing their invitation to hang out together? Well, she did invite me to go with them. But that's just what they do. After inviting someone along, they pressure that person to pay for everything. Those 3 are troublemakers. I'd never spend time with them of my own free will. Oh, I see. Phew, that's a relief. For a minute there, I thought that Sarah was getting mixed in with the wrong crowd. Besides, you should know that I'd much rather spend the day with you than anyone from school. Aw, that was adorable. I want to go back and see that face again. Yay! Happy face! Yay! I like the idea of people having those kinds of expressions and having it toward me. As long as it's not like Mandela, catalog, Uncanny Valley, analog horror shit. Really? Of course. Even if you are a brute and a liar, you're still the person I love more than anyone else. Yay, somebody loves me. Oh geez, what is this girl saying? If someone saw Sarah and I like this, they'd definitely get the wrong idea. But you know, I'm still mad at you for lying to me. Yeah, I figured as much. Even if our outing improves Sarah's mood, it's not enough to absolve me. I'm not asking you to tell me everything, but will you at least explain to me why you can't tell me? In the face of Sarah's humble request, I sighed inwardly and thought over my situation once more. As a collector, my job wasn't that bad. It was violent and dangerous, sure, but I was ultimately just settling debts and collecting owed money. Now that I have taken a life of my own for financial gain, however, things aren't so simple. There's no justification for what I am now expected to do. I can never explain to Sarah how I thought so little of robbing a man of his life. If Sarah ever learned of my increasing indifference to human life, Sarah, I won't argue with you. I completely agree that you're entitled to an explanation. But if you knew what I did for a living, you'd never speak to me again. While Sarah may have defended my actions as a vigilante, I have regressed considerably since then. I've gone straight from killing rapists to making a living off of the misfortune of others. Yeah, I mean, that is a different thing, killing people for a paycheck, but I mean, you know, that's not the path I walk in life. I don't get paid to kill people, so just saying that's just not a job path I would like. Same way, at one point I considered the idea of being a doctor, because I was like, hey, I want to help people. Because I was younger, I was like, well, I would like to help people when I'm older. But then I thought about, especially to take a surgeon. My hands tend to shake a lot when I get anxious. I mean, I could accidentally cut somebody in the wrong spot. And then they could die. And even then, as a doctor, I have all this responsibility that, I have to do all these things for somebody's well-being. If I screw up, they're going to die. And that's well, I don't want that pressure. And even then, I don't really have a high enough opinion of myself. I don't have enough pride or arrogance in myself to think that I'd be good enough to actually help people. And even then, many doctors and paramedics, a large number far more than any movie or TV show would let you know, a lot of people die no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try to save their lives. And I don't think I would emotionally cope well with that, seeing people die all the time like that. So it's like, I want to help people, but I don't want to do something for a living that, if I fail, innocent people get hurt. Or especially a job knowing that no matter how hard I try, people will still get hurt. I know it's selfish of me, but it's like, one, I don't believe in myself in terms of my own abilities, that I'd be somebody who should be tasked with such things as, say, a paramedic. I don't think I'm good enough to really do that shit right. But I guess everyone has their own path in life, and I don't know. I think Park Ranger, Android 17 had it. They just got there, enjoy some nature, watch some birds, guide some people down a trail, tell them how to pitch a tent. Then I could go, build a cabin or something. That'd be cool. My path is not one... What can I say? I like nature, okay? I like just sitting outside and watching the clouds and looking at the trees swaying. And heck, the times that it storms. I mean, heck, we had a tornado siren go off last week. And it was storming, it was a lot of wind and rain. And apparently there was a tornado a few miles away or something. Shit. I don't know how far, but we had tornado sirens going off. But I just sat on my porch for a while and just watched the rain. Drank some hot cocoa. It was nice. I wouldn't want to be out in the rain or a thunderstorm, but it's nice just to listen to the rain, to watch it. It's kind of like the idea, you ever sit and just watch a campfire? Or watch, say when it's snowy, or heck, in autumn when the leaves blow around. You ever see those tiny little dust devils, the little small tornadoes that are 20 feet tall, made of leaves? You ever just sit and watch those? It's pretty neat. Or just watch when a tree's somewhat browned and stuff. You just ever sit there and just watch, and you just you're seeing a leaf every now and then just fall from the tree. I know I'm boring. My path is not one she could stomach, let alone condone. Ah, you idiot. Like that would ever happen. Eh? She doesn't believe me. So you're ashamed of your job, huh? I see. So that's why you didn't want to tell me. Jumping to a misguided conclusion, Sarah let out a sigh of relief. Even as she misinterpreted my words, however, I didn't have the heart to correct her misunderstanding. But it's not a misunderstanding. She's correct. I mean, granted, she may not understand the severity of it, but it's not a misunderstanding. We are ashamed of our job and worried what she'll think. I mean, she's 100% accurate there. There's nothing to correct on that. It's just more that she's probably thinking we have an OnlyFans or something. She's probably not thinking that we're actually killing people. I'm glad that Sarah seems content with my answer, but is this really alright? My job is embarrassing. Doesn't even begin to explain my paycheck, let alone my late-night disappearances. She thinks we're fucking people for money, and that we are worried to tell her. Okay, let's head to the register. We still have time for one more store, right? Well, no, I think that she's a bit possessive in personality. So even though not a relationship, air quotes, given that, the Andy and Leyley jokes, I think she'd be more pissed about that. Maybe she thinks that we're working in, waste management. Well, technically we are. I meant sewers and water treatment plants. Which technically there's nothing to be ashamed of in those jobs. Those jobs actually pay really well, as far as I know. haven't looked into it. I just know that those jobs are, one, necessary for society. You know, society wouldn't function without those jobs. And two, I think they pay well, but I think you gotta deal with a lot of chemicals and bad smells. I don't know, maybe I'll look into it. Heck, I'm considering the idea of working as part of the electrical grid, or electrician, or a plumber or something. It's a nice name, and I certainly do prefer to have something to call her. Nonetheless, pissed, Misa, wake up. I gently shook Misa back and forth until her eyes opened. Wee. Save. Okay. We're gonna say no and get shot. No, it's impossible. It's barely able to scale a 2-story house, and cars wants to break into a fortress like that. Sir, I can't do it. Just know it. Is that right? I suppose it's a bit much to ask. No, just start after all. You must think I'm insane asking a newbie to go on such a dangerous, high-profile mission. No kidding. But I also believe that you're the most suitable person for the job. Besides, Sai will be doing all the hard work. All you need to do is follow his instruction. Even so, sir, it's just... I'll make it worth your while. Worth my while? No, he's trying to distract me from my issue. But no matter what he offers, a job like this is suicide. Doesn't matter what you offer me, I can't do it. Sai, I understand. But I strongly suggest that you reconsider. It's not for your sake, then for Sarah, was it? Bad things in this town, especially those who don't know how to play ball. Don't let your own arrogance turn your sister into a statistic. Turn down the opportunity of a lifetime. Well, that was a disaster. In one fell move, I went from being a source of Karasu's pride to mere collateral. It's not that I wanted to say no, but when it comes down to it, you're afraid. I am afraid. I'm afraid of bad things I've done and the things I will continue doing. Afraid of the horrible things that might happen to Sarah and I. Everything, everyone in this damn town, it's all just... Suo. Well, the music's ominous. We're gonna get stabbed. Well, we're gonna get stabbed now. Yes, sir? That was unbelievably stupid. Do you have any idea what kind of opportunity you just passed up? So I know. No, you don't know. Just what is it you want anyway? Why are you here? Money, protection, respect? Whatever it is, you just gave up the best chance you'll ever have of getting it. Yeah, I should read that, Alice. Money, protection, respect? Whatever it is, you just gave up the best chance you'll have of ever getting it. But I don't want to hear it. After everything Karasu's done for you, after he specifically told you that you were the only one suitable for the 3-man operation, you just turned him down without even hearing him out? Hear him out, don't make me laugh. I need money, but I'm not about to throw my life away for some petty cash. You idiot, you think this is about petty cash? Karasu is going to offer you your house back. Your parents' home, the house you grew up in, the one taken from you. Karasu wanted to give you something special, both as a reward and as an incentive. We're not talking about petty break-in here. Adder's a multi-billion-dollar company. Care to guess how much that we would have made for one night's work? I could have retired comfortably in any country in the world. Forget your old house. You could have bought your entire neighborhood. Are you serious? What do you think? An entire neighborhood. Karasu did say he'd make it worth my time. But I didn't stop to think about how much money we were actually talking about it. But if it's so much at stake, why are you willing to risk it on me? Because I have no choice. Like it or not, it's a 3-person job, and the 3rd person has to be someone very specific. Karasu said himself, the others don't qualify, they either can't be trusted, or they aren't cut out for this kind of job. I need someone I can train, someone who will listen, someone with no choice but to follow orders. In other words, you. That's insane. No, it isn't. What's insane is that Karasu gave you a choice. Now you listen to me, brat. I'm not going to pass up this opportunity, simply because you lack confidence. If I say you have what it takes, then you have what it takes. What anybody else says is irrelevant. Believe it or not, I actually like you. Comparatively, at least. And Karasu, he really likes you. Or at least he did until now. But that won't stop me from dumping your bloody carcass on your sister's doorstep if you don't change your mind. Do we have an understanding? Click. Click. No. Go fuck yourself. Dead. Defiant to the end, huh? Blah. What a waste. I can't even imagine how you thought refusing could play out in your favor. Don't let your arrogance be your undoing in the next life. Is there an achievement for doing that? Well, that was a pretty, that title is pretty straightforward. Load game. Go here. Yay! Befriender. Aside from Friday night meeting, the only noteworthy event to pass by was my shopping trip with Sarah. I know Sarah can be a handful, and I've thought for a while now that she might be bipolar, but what I saw that day was unreal. Sarah's always hated violence. I'm the violent one, not her. And yet, when that boy from her school started to insult me, she completely lost it. Sarah kicked and screamed and did everything in her power to inflict damage upon him. If I wasn't there to hold her back, there's no telling what might have happened. Well, I guess our kind of insanity stuff and rage is kind of hereditary, I guess. Of course, even forgetting about the shopping trip itself for a moment, there's still the reason behind her outing. I only took Sarah out in order to distract her, hoping I could calm her down by showing her that, no matter how I got it, the money was ours. And thankfully, in the end, I did manage to calm Sarah down. I allowed her to misunderstand what it meant. Let her believe that I was simply too ashamed of my job to tell her what it was. For the time being, no matter how short-lived our relationship has returned to normal. What currently concerns me most of all is my personal life, however, or in my job. Rather, the biggest concern right now is training with Sai. Okay. It's about me dating his daughter. Just leave it to me, sir. I have it all planned out. Oh? You're confident boy type, huh? No, it's not like that. I just thought it would be a good idea to plan that, you know? Alright, leave it to you then. Be at Central Park, do stuff. Gotcha. So, can you make it? I know you're probably busy at work, so I understand if you can't. I frowned at the letter, mulling over its... Oh, it's still... 10 a.m. was really a bad time. I can't meet up both accounts and at the same time. Hell, even if I wasn't meeting her, I still wouldn't go to the stupid counseling session anyway. This is what I want. It's for Sarah's sake, not mine. The question is, do I disappoint my new colleagues or my sister? Okay, well, save, click, return to game. We will see the counselor. Ha, I'm such a softie. Don't worry about it. I'll figure something out. You will? You'll come? Back at that shithole I used to attend. I'll be there. Hang on a second. I may be late to tomorrow's rendezvous. What are you talking about? I knew he'd be mad. It's not that I want to be. I need to take care of something at my sister's school. It starts at 10 a.m., so I should be able to. It's fine. Do what you have to, then head home and freshen up. Really? He's okay with it? Yeah, thank you, sir. I'll promise I'll make it up to Misa. Damn right you will. That's the thing. It is kind of a concern balancing, different priorities in life. Mason Public High School after school. Hey, you're going to be on the field trip next week, right? Wait, you aren't? You aren't? Right, I forgot about the troublemakers aren't allowed to go. Unable to recall the answers I gave to her questions. I can only watch nonchalantly as the girl in front of me reacted to my words. Her voice wavering, the girl didn't even try to hide how she felt as I delivered bad news. For some reason, this familiar yet unknown girl seemed to hang on my every word, genuinely uninterested in what my answer might be. But then, what do you usually do? I mean, even your sister will be going, right? Won't you be bored? And lonely? Even with her emotive nature, I never felt tired or run down by our conversations. They are rarely one-sided. Unlike the other people in my life, I could speak to this girl naturally and without hesitation. I suppose I could skip it as well. I mean, my parents didn't want to pay for it to begin with, and none of my friends are going, so I guess it'll just be the two of us. As the familiar dream came to an end and my mind returned to reality, details of the scene I witnessed had already begun to disappear from memory. My high school days, distant though they may feel, actually occurred not too long ago, far too recently for me to have forgotten all about them. But once again, as I try to remember the past, I can only recall dreams and violent encounters that may or may not have ever happened. Be that as it may, there always seems to be one recurring element. In both my dreams and my recollections, there is always one person waiting for me. That girl. I don't remember her name, or our relationship, or anything specific about her. We could have been in different classes, different grades. Maybe she was just a friend of Sarah's. Even so, every time her face pops into my mind, I feel like I'm forgetting something important. And given the fact that the stimulus is always that girl, that something might just be her. Whatever that case, it does bring one question to mind. Just who the hell is that girl? Okay, this is different. Tuesday morning, October 4th. Despite my many reservations, my day started with a trip to an institution I thought I'd left forever. Prompted by a letter from my sister's school, I tracked a familiar path, all the while complaining to myself and dreading the upcoming event. All the hypocrisy, the fabricated importance of deprecated classes, held only to keep teachers and jobs, the blissful ignorance displayed in the face of reality. School life here, filled with rubbish I wouldn't wish upon prisoners, let alone students. Why the hell did I even agree to do this? While my sister enjoyed her school life, I absolutely loathed it. My marks were permanently below average. I had only a couple of friends and frequently slept in class, and only got into fights with other students. I was almost expelled a couple of times, and I did get suspended on a number of occasions. But somehow, against all odds, I managed to keep my place there. The other students were probably amazed to hear that I left on my own accord, given that I was one strike away from expulsion. Furthermore, I quit before I was officially discharged from the hospital, so it's been over 2 months since I last saw any of my classmates. Would they recognize me now? Would they care? Yeah, 2 months is not a long time. None of them should know the real reason why I left, unless Sarah has been telling them, so chances are they have assumed the worst about me. Whatever the consensus is about me, the fact is that I'm back, if only for the morning, and for counseling no less. But I'm not here for the sake of other students or teachers or even the counselor. There's only one reason why I'm here, and she's already waiting inside for me. Mr. Tesla, I presume. Before I could reach the front office, a single teacher came out to greet me. Miss Counselor, pleased to meet you. I'm Meredith Valance, your sister's counselor. Happy face. She's all smiling and stuff. My sister's counselor? What a load. This woman is a school counselor, not my sister's personal support. I bet she doesn't even have a degree. Your sister's waiting inside. Let's go, shall we? Miss Valance walked on ahead, gesturing for me to follow after her. Sigh, oh well, too late to back out now. Let's just get this over with. I followed Miss Valance into her office, wherein I found Sarah, who looked quite unhappy to be there. Okay. According to this clock, it is 7:07. Wasn't this supposed to happen at 10 o'clock? I sat down next to Sarah, which caused a brief smile to appear on her face, but the moment the counselor took her seat, the smile was gone. Now then, Mr. Tesla, did Sarah tell you why I've asked you here? Enough with the Mr. Tesla crap. I was a student here myself a couple months ago. Why is she acting like I'm Sarah's father? I'm guessing this is about our parents. Eh? No, not exactly. No, not exactly. As a school counselor, I believe that issue to be a little outside the scope of my position. Shouldn't a counselor be talking to students like, hey, both your parents are dead. They died or violently or something, like a car wreck. Isn't the purpose of a counselor, 1, to help advise students on possible career paths, 2, how to deal with issues within the school itself, and 3, if there is a major family thing, like, hey, your parents are dead. feel that's a thing. No kidding. What I want to speak to you about, first and foremost, is Sarah's home life. Yeah, we moved to a different place. Our house was taken away, and we had to go live somewhere else. And for a while there, we weren't sure we were going to be able to pay the rent. Our home life. I looked over at Sarah, who simply shrugged in response. What about it? The two of you are close, correct? Yeah, we're twins. You two get along well, spend a lot of time together? Yeah, but I've been at work a lot. We live together, we're siblings, of course we do. Absolutely. And do you feel the same way, Sarah? Well, yeah, of course. Miss Valance began typing up our responses on her laptop, or perhaps taking note of whatever she perceived the outcome of our short conversation to be. I didn't know why she thinks two siblings getting along well is worth taking note of, and to be honest, right now, I really don't care. Miss Valance, you didn't drag me down here to make sure that Sarah and I are getting along. Why are we really here? Miss Valance stopped typing, visibly annoyed by my interruption. Actually, that's exactly why we're here. I was hoping you could shed a little light on Sarah's behavior and well-being of late. What are you talking about? Sarah hasn't been injured or acting out. Have you, Sarah? I don't believe so. I mean, what I saw at the mall, you haven't been doing that at the school, have you? I mean, again, if someone's been behaving like that they did at the mall, I mean, if you're just kneeing everyone in the testicles, I mean, you could have told me about it, but that seems justified still. So, yeah, Miss Counselor, I think she's okay. I mean, if they're talking shit to her, she can kick them in the nuts, okay? Sarah shrugged once more, apparently just as confused the counselor's words as I was. Oh, is that so? And how do you explain the burns on her fingers and wrists, or the blood on her uniform? What? Did I accidentally throw my clothes in the wash of hers? Like after we killed the drunk guy by car. Did we accidentally do the laundry wrong? I might have fucked up on laundry. And she's been cooking more recently, so I mean honestly there's times where like I'll actually burn myself while cooking, so. Burns? Blood? I looked at Sarah more closely, taking her hands in mine, inspecting for myself. Sarah looks perfectly fine to me. Guess I must have burned myself while cooking. I never really cooked at home until after we moved out. I figured as much. Hey, you don't have to agree with me, you know. What? Everyone's got a learning curve. I mean, if you're not used to cooking, it's something new. I mean, yeah, if you cook something, you'll just look up directions on like Google and stuff. But I mean, it also, like, there's going to be margin for error when it comes to like cooking, especially if you're making something more home-cooked meal. So, I mean, it takes practice. Don't be so hard on yourself. And the blood? I don't know about that. Blood, huh? Oh, that's probably mine. You may have a safe little desk job, but I sure don't. Even outside of work, I managed to injure myself. Hell, I just last night I cut myself repeatedly over. Fine, let's say Sarah's physical injuries are just coincidences or accidents. Let's take her physical well-being completely out of the picture. Yes, our parents are dead. What am I supposed to do about that? I guess... What the fuck? How do you explain Sarah's recent behavior at school? Our parents are dead. If she's acting out and getting pissed at people, one, think maybe the people are bullying her or treating her like shit or attacking her. Like, that's the thing I got pissed off. There were sometimes I got detention for, you know, defending myself from people that were, it's like, yes, okay, those people fucking spit on me and pushed me down a fucking flight of stairs. Do you expect me to not do anything in response? It's like, why am I being punished? But I mean, yeah, she's getting bullied. She's allowed to defend herself. 2, our parents are dead. How do you explain Sarah's recent behavior at school? Her behavior? She's getting bullied. Modern age with social media. I blame social media. I blame Twitter and Facebook and TikTok. It's TikTok's fault. I blame TikTok. Okay, so it's TikTok, and there's bullying, social media, modern society. Heck, it was the TV. TV's a bad influence on everyone, right? Everyone's like, you're just being a sarcastic asshole now. Well, yeah, I mean, why do you deserve anything more than a sarcastic answer? First off, you're the counselor. You're here all the time. You know, if people are bullying her, shouldn't you be aware of it instead of blaming the person who is the victim? 2, more to the point, our parents are dead. And we had to move homes, and we're constantly under the pressure that we are going to lose our home and be homeless and all die. You don't think that stress is warranted? I mean, at this point, like I've never smoked weed, and they've recently made it recreationally legal. But I'm like, in this situation, okay, could you really blame us if we did? That being said, I would definitely say it would be a bad idea for me to ever ingest cannabis. Just because I would probably, whether I were to get like magical brownie bullshit or smoke a fucking blunt, I don't think, my mind would respond well to psychedelics. I do enjoy stories on YouTube of either scientific explanations about how stuff affects the human mind, or listening to people's personal experiences. But I do not think my body would respond well to such things. But I'm just saying, given the context again, you should be glad that Sarah isn't showing up with a fucking bottle of Jack Daniels and a fucking blunt. Our parents are dead. Everyone in this building is an asshole, and TikTok exists. I mean, come on, TikTok's the worst part about all that. Sarah's been skipping classes to study alone, ignoring the other students and teachers, suffering mood swings, displaying a complete unwillingness to learn. Oh no, she's avoiding the people who treat her like shit and tell her that she's garbage. And she's had mood swings since her parents have died. She lost her home, and she's barely was able to find the low-income sort of places in a somewhat suburban area that at any time we thought we might lose. And not to mention that there was the people that were the rapists that were going on murdering and raping people that had been following her at the bus a lot, harassing her and trying to basically, find an opening to kidnap her, physically assault her, rape her, forcing themselves on her, and then murdering her. Heck, even the stalking and harassing's already bad enough that, it's a fucking mood swing to that shit is understandable. She's getting bullied, there's fucking rapists, there's people stalking and harassing her and being very, very rude. She's had a major change in living situation. There's financial concerns, and our parents are dead. Need I go on? Again, she's got mood swings, and she's oh no, she's avoiding the people who are treating her like shit. And oh no, the person with severe depression who keeps getting constantly told what a worthless piece of garbage they are, and everyone keeps constantly yelling at them or attacking them. That person's depressed and becoming more withdrawn and avoiding the people that treat them badly. And oh yeah, there's lots of crime and change in living situations. I mean, okay, need I go on? This one actually thinks that conducting independent study and ignoring distractions is a bad thing. No matter how I look at it, Sarah's actions sounds like those of a devoted student, not a delinquent. My grades have been compared to hers often, enough that I know exactly how much of an overachiever she is. Save. While I am trying to go through this whole game and the second playthrough in this part, I mean, there are other options I could come back to at some point in the future. Let me know. Let me know if that's a thing I could probably do. Defend Sarah. Why am I even listening to this woman? It's obvious that she has no idea what she's talking about. Sarah's an angel. Anyone who can't see that needs their head examined. Happy face. Hey, stop that. And that's another thing. Sometimes people just want to know that the people that they think they can rely on can be relied on. You want to feel that, hey, this person who cares about me actually cares about me and will actually defend me, both verbally and physically. As opposed to, oh, you wind up getting the fucking shit kicked out of you or some shit, who fucking cares? Oh, people are mistreating you, oh, what's the fucking matter? Or like, oh no, a counselor's having a fucking problem with you, what have you done wrong, blah 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 blah. End of the day, in the words of Batman, who was the guy who did the Batman movie with the Batman movie? It was not Ben Stiller. Stop thinking it's Ben Stiller. Rob Schneider was not the Joker. Why is Arnold Schwarzenegger the Scarecrow in this situation? He was already a Batman villain, another thing. I still say a Jeff Dunham movie, where, you know, Jeff Dunham's a ventriloquist in the Batman animated series would be cool. And then we'd have the Jared Leto Joker get beat the shit out of by an anti-villain called the Reaper, played by Willem Dafoe. So it'd be like Willem Dafoe versus Jared Leto, in which Willem Dafoe wins. But I'm just saying, Jeff Dunham as the ventriloquist from Batman the animated series. But I'm just saying this. In the words of that one Batman, the guy who played the Thor guy, not Thor, but the Gore. Why can I never remember this guy's name? Yeah, the guy who played the Batman in that one Batman trilogy thing. I've, and this is not the first time I try to bring up his name in a thing, in a video, and I'm like, but I can't remember this guy's name. He's the guy used for all like the Sigma memes and all that shit. Fuck, why can I never remember his name? I've looked his name up so many times. I'm like, oh, that's his name. And then I draw a blank. I can't remember it. But you guys know what I mean. The guy who was Batman in the Heath Ledger Joker movies. And there was Tom Hardy as Bane, and we had... There was a Scarecrow in the first one. And Liam Neeson was Ra's al Ghul. Just saying, that guy said to Morgan Freeman, sometimes people need their faith rewarded. Basically, from Sarah's perspective, this is nice. She's like, okay, Suo has faith in me, and I can have faith in him, and my faith in him will be rewarded. He actually cares about me, and he believes in me. I'm just saying this. People, one, don't like to be betrayed, and two, people don't like being, I don't know, one, just not only just stabbed in the back, but being told that people don't trust you, don't believe you, disrespect you, don't care about you, or even just don't stand up for you, or even then don't even care about your thoughts or your feelings. I'm just saying this is nice. She's like, okay, he actually cares and actually has faith in me. It's nice. I'm just saying that's a good feeling. People, I'm just saying that means a lot to people. And I'm just saying a lot of people out there take that shit for granted. But it's important. It's important to feel like people have faith in you and care about you and believe in you and have your fucking back and would never betray or abandon you or use of and dispose you or hurt you. But main thing is like, hey, Suo believes in us and he actually has value and respect for who I am as a person. I can see the respect, I can see the value of, one, the way Sarah feels and having, that being shown to her, but also I can see the value from Suo's side that when he expresses that faith in her, seeing that it means a big deal to her. We can see Sarah there, that me expressing my faith and my belief and my care for her, that she appreciates that and that it means a lot to her. And the fact that it means a lot to her and she appreciates it means a lot to me. The fact that it means a lot to her means a lot to me. The fact that she appreciates it, I appreciate that. That means a lot. That's important. Hey, stop that. And as much as the fucking counselors over there like, oh, just not know. This is wholesome. This is as wholesome as any video game on the planet ever is. Also, what the fuck is that fucking puzzle in the back? Who makes a puzzle with only 4 pieces? Everyone's like, why do you keep getting on the artist's back? I'm just saying, you can't draw guns right. And what? And the artist's like, well, I didn't want to draw a 5,000 piece puzzle. In your next game, draw a 5,000 piece puzzle. Yes, creator of game, please make another game. I'll play your next game. Just make sure it's good. Are you saying this one's not? No, you're taking that wrong. This game is great. I like this game. It's a good game. There's a reason I'm on a second playthrough. It's a good game. I like the art style for the characters, and even in the background, it's like, okay, everything else is done good. It's cool. I like the story. I'm just saying there's a few elements here and there I'm going to bitch at you for. Here's the thing. The clock is wrong. Why are we here at 7:07? Okay. See, this is exactly the kind of crap I was worried about. What I'm trying to discern here today is the exact nature of your relationship. I told you we get along great. I bet you do, and that's exactly what worries me. Sure, physical injuries and fluctuation of emotion can be explained by outside influences. Your excuses are even viable. Okay, I'm pretty sure we didn't, I went on a diatribe about it. But Sue didn't say anything about, hey, she's getting bullied. Hey, TikTok exists. Hey, social media. Hey, it's the modern age. Society's fucked. People in general are going more I've seen the videos of fucking teachers complaining about this next generation coming up, and I'm like, yeah, that's TikTok. Blame TikTok. Blame social media. But yeah, our parents are dead. We had to move houses. How are we supposed to cope well with that? Our parents died. But those symptoms can also be explained by sexual abuse. She did have people trying to fucking beat her. But those people are dead. Don't even joke about that. There's no way I'd let something like that happen to Sarah. A certain corpse and a cripple can attest to that. See? That's what I'm talking about. You still don't get it, huh? Everyone wondered what happened to Sarah. What happened to the studio's honor student? What is with this malevolent fucking smile the counselor has? Everyone's like, maybe you're just implying or assuming it's malevolent, given the fact that, the music? Yeah, the music is kind of implying that. I'm just saying that. Look at that smile. Look at the way her eyebrows are. That's not a happy smile. And that's not a friendly smile. Her parents die. She presses on. Yeah, her parents are dead. Her friend is the victim of a brutal attack. She presses on. Okay, so you're criticizing her for handling it too well? What, did you expect her to kill herself? Any normal person would just assume that the stress finally caught up with her. Even I believe that to be the case at first. Yeah, that it is the normal. So much of surprise when I received 3 independent reports from students saying that her own brother was abusing her. What kind of sick joke is this? No, I am not beating her. I go to school, started working my ass off to put food on the table, put my freedom and my well-being in line to support my family, and that is how people see me? You're a monster. Technically true, we did stab people. But, to be fair, I'm arguing with an imaginary voice. So, doing my best for Sarah's sake makes me a monster, huh? Well, so be it. If that's how people choose to see me, then I can accept that. What I can't accept, however, is that this woman feels the need to antagonize and look down on my sister because of my own perceived shortcomings. Berate me all you want, call me horrible names, make fun of me, attack my beliefs. I can take it. But if you instead target my sister, then they'll wind up dead or crippled? Exactly. Okay, I can see the Batman slippery slope occurring here. It's like, okay, I'm a vigilante. You stabbed that person for littering. They missed the trash can. There's a recycling bin, right? Captain Planet. Jeez. You guys remember seeing that little sketch comedy show with Don Childay? Played Captain Planet. And then he just started shooting lasers and turning people into trees. Yeah, it's like I said, disproportionate. It's like local speed limits enforced by military aircraft. If Sarah wasn't here, I'd make a save. So I seem like there's multiple things I could do in the future. Okay, we calm down. No, I can't let her get the better of me, not in front of Sarah. And that's the thing, she is purposely trying to provoke us. At which point means if we lash out angrily and all upset and emo and shit, she wins, and she wants us to be emo. Lashing out now will only negatively impact on Sarah. For her sake, I need to remain calm. You're wrong, Miss Valance, plain and simple. Are you denying those students' allegations? Why should you believe the allegations of random students that you know are delinquents and are causing issues? Let's go, we saw these people bullying you, but we're going to assume they're right. Take a guess. And what about you, Sarah? Sarah's been quiet for a while now. Is she really that shocked by the counselor's assumption? Or could it be that she knew ahead of time that what this meeting was about? If she did know, that would certainly explain why she was so quiet about it. Either way, Sarah's the one worst off here. While I can leave here at any time I want, Sarah is stuck here until she graduates. I can just imagine the kind of crap she might be subjected to over this. And that's another reason why we need to stay calm in this situation. Because here's the thing. If I were to lash out and yell at her, it's extremely selfish on my part. Because here's the thing. Yes, I could yell at her and tell this counselor to go fuck herself and all that kind of shit. But here's the problem. I don't got to deal with that shit anymore. But Sarah still has to. She still has to come here day after day and day. And if I make a scene or anything, she has to deal with that. Which means if I act out, she will suffer. And if my objective is that she doesn't suffer and that I can protect her, well then it's counterproductive. That reminds me of some of the stand-up comedy shows. You ever watch, like, Jim Carrey does some really good stand-up? So does Robin Williams. Heck, I enjoy listening to some Linkin Park, some Infected Mushroom, Korn. Jonathan, my ear is itchy. But yeah, there's a song. Infected Mushroom's a really good band. They've done a lot of different songs. It's mostly like trippy kind of music, which is funny because I don't smoke weed or anything. I never have, but I enjoy the music a lot. Heck, I've listened to bands like Sublime, though I'm more of a System Down and Disturbed guy. But yeah, Jonathan Davis from Korn's done some stuff with Infected Mushroom. Infected Mushroom done like songs that had no vocals, some that's English, some that's Spanish, some that's Hebrew. It's a lot of variety. They've done like 20 albums. They also did a cover of some Linkin Park songs. So, just saying Linkin Park's and Infected Mushroom and Korn, all really good bands. I don't know, anyone out there ever listen to Tool? Or Smile Empty Soul? Or A Perfect Circle? Those are also really good bands. My brother has never laid a hand on me, and even if he had, outsiders have no right to tell us how to live. Whoa, where the hell did that come from? I don't know what Sarah's thinking, but I'm pretty sure that's our cue to leave. If we don't get out of here soon, one of us is going to say something we'll really regret. And that's another thing. Everybody's life is different in terms of circumstances of discussions. I mean, you could say maybe it's better to outright argue with people right point blank as soon as possible. On the other hand, conflict resolution, easiest way not to get in a street fight, don't. Best way not to get into a street fight, don't get in a street fight. Best way to avoid escalating an argument, walk away. That's a simple thing. Oh, you don't want to get into a massive argument that's only going to escalate and escalate and escalate? Just walk away. If the other person wants to antagonize you and wants to insult you and wants to provoke you and wants to try to make you angry, to try to force you to react in some, overly loud, angry, yelly, emo way. I mean, that's what they want. Heck, even if it's not they want, even if they're overcome by their own emotions, here's the thing. There's a time and a place to stay and argue with people, but for the most part, the question is this. What do you, the viewer, want to do if you were in that situation? Each situation is different. But say, if you're in an argument like this, the longer you stay in it, it's only going to escalate. So, your best course of action is just walk away. The best way to win a fight is not to fight at all. The best way to win a war is not to have a war at all. The best way to win an argument is not even have a fucking argument. It's not even worth it. You're going to say, what if you're in a relationship? Well, if there's a relationship and it's gotten that bad where there's some major argument, yes, there needs to be some communication discussion. But if it's at the point that it's a major argument, that it's going to be a huge issue, then you should just end the relationship. Because I'll say this, regardless of whatever gender or sexual orientation you are, if you have any partner who is being physically violent to you or yells at you all the time or is constantly berating you or insulting you or threatening you, hell, if you ever feel unsafe with your partner, regardless of what gender or sexual orientation you are, if you feel scared of your partner, if you feel unsafe around your partner, if you feel like your partner is going to hurt you, you need to get the fuck out. It needs to end. And that's another thing. In general, I tend to not tell people to get married at all. Just because being married makes a lot of legal issues where it's hard to get away if you're married to somebody that's not safe to be around. Simply put is this. If you're in a relationship, regardless of what gender or sexual orientation you are, if your partner is hitting you, or you're scared of them, or they are verbally or physically abusive to you, like if they are physically attacking you, if at any point you have a fucking scar on you from shit, simply put is this. Your partner should not hit you, your partner should not try to hurt you. You should not feel scared of your partner. Your partner shouldn't make you feel worthless. So, if shit's like that, leave. And, yeah. I mean, I should say it in a more concise way. Simple as this. If your romantic partner, regardless of whatever gender or sexual orientation anyone is, if your partner is being violent, or you're scared of them, or they constantly yell at you and call you terrible things, and insult you, or make you feel worthless, you shouldn't have anything to do with them. You should break up with them. If you live with them, you should stop living with them immediately. And you should not talk to them ever again. You should just completely cut off all contact with that person and have nothing to do with them ever again. So if you're, like, say if you start dating somebody and they're violent and you're actually scared of them, or if they're constantly yelling at you and calling you horrible things, or you feel scared of them, you don't feel safe around them, you don't need to be around them. Just break things off immediately, stop talking to them, stop seeing them, and even if they call or try to message you, ignore it. Have nothing to do with them. They do not exist anymore. Nobody should stay in any kind of abusive relationship. Whether the person would try to hit you, or cut you, or to be trying to kill you, or be someone you'd be scared of, or they'd be trying to damage property, or if they're constantly yelling at you, or telling you they hate you, or insulting you, or telling you how worthless you are, you guys get the point. Moving on. And for once, it might not be me. Head case. Attend counseling. That being said, I do think therapy is a good idea. Now, granted, I do harp that medical coverage here in America is a tad more expensive than I feel is fair. I think, while in general, I dislike the idea of socialism, and I think that a lot of situations are better off in a capitalistic way. Granted, that shit gets abused a lot too. In general, I think a free market is a more fair and equal way that helps to alleviate people being poor. That being said, I also think there's a lot of very rich people that just kind of abuse the system. And I feel like us, as just average people, don't really have any political authority. I mean, at the end of the day, whatever the government does, I can't do anything about. All I can do is sit around and play video games. I don't really want to get involved in that shit. But, I don't know. It's depressing. More to the point is that, well, yeah, I don't really think I can do anything. And heck, I never want to be a politician. What would be my political party? Hi, I'm Lunar D8. I'm going to find proof of aliens. Because I'll tell you this, that's what I would want to do. I'd be like, okay, I'm a politician. Now I'm going to use my power as a politician to find proof of aliens. And then, tell everyone I'm proof of aliens. You guys remember Whitest Kid You Know, the sketch comedy show? Lunar Bears or Space Bears? It's like, yes, we do have confirmation that America does have a moon base. And that moon base is currently being attacked by bears. And the bears have AK-47s. And they're fighting an intergalactic drug cartel against an intergalactic space wizard alliance of Gandalf and Anakin Skywalker. Also, for some reason, Steve Jobs is there. And he's got a red staff of magical power. Yes, I'm making a fucking Rezo the Red Priest reference from, it's the Slayers anime series from 1995. Oh, you guys ever listen to the band Judas Priest? Granted, a lot of the songs are a bit, I don't know, too thrash in a couple of moments, if I could say that. Like, I like more so different riffs of certain things. Heck, there's a song called Cathedral Spires. The intro to that's pretty kick-ass. So I can suggest anything. It's like a 9-minute song or some shit. But there's like a 1.5-minute long intro to the song Cathedral Spires. Then again, I also like a lot of Pantera and Black Sabbath. And granted, don't be wrong, I like the Ozzy stuff that Ozzy Osbourne did as after that. But I also like the Black Sabbath stuff a lot too. Trying to decide, did I like the original Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit movies better? Honestly, Lord of the Rings, but I enjoyed the Hobbit movies with Bilbo Baggins quite a bit too. Though I can't remember the actors' names who played Frodo or Bilbo. Close. Technically there was 2 different Bilbo actors. One for Lord of the Rings and one for Hobbit. Those are great movies. Those are really good movies. Then again, I also like Batman vs. Superman. I thought that was a great movie. I also think Schindler's List is a great movie. I think the original Broly movie is a great movie. And of course, 1997, there was a movie called The Odyssey. It's got Armand Assante in it. He's a great actor, did a great job. It's a great movie. I very strongly suggest it. Heck, I've put some links about it in some community posts on the community post thing in my YouTube. Okay, we're back at home, and I kind of forgot what we were doing. I'm sorry. I don't have ADHD, okay? I've never actually been diagnosed with ADHD. I may have taken some silly little personality test things on the internet. Kind of said that I kind of have very strongly have it. But you know what? No. I say no. I am denying that I have ADHD or autism. I've never actually been diagnosed by anyone to actually have that in an actual doctor setting. So, I'm going to say I do not have ADHD or autism. Not. I mean, I can admit I have the depression, but it's not as bad as all the silly little quiz things imply. Next, Lunar D8's going to take a test saying, "What anime character are you?" Okay, I'll stop getting distracted, okay? Home at last, even though it's still morning and I'm out of breath. Ran out of air. One moment. Oh. Yes, I used an albuterol inhaler. I was getting a bit lightheaded and I ran out of breath, okay? Hey, it's fine. Stop talking shit about it. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person because I needed to use a fucking inhaler. Everyone's like, well, your cardio's not been doing that great. I'm sorry, I've been sucking at jogging, okay? It's like, well, I'm not getting any skinnier. I'm still fucking fat. I mean, at least my knees don't hurt. That's a hilarious thing. When I was at work all the time, so fucking glad I quit that fucking job. But it's like, the way I was having to move, I was constantly putting so much fucking torque on my knees to where I was like, oh, I'd be laying down in bed and my knees were still throbbing. I could feel like my heartbeat pulsing in my fucking knees. Like my knees would be in pain just sitting and playing games. My knees would be in pain. And of course, the whole day I'm at work, my chest would be hurting constantly. Don't get me wrong, my chest still hurts a little bit here and there. But nowhere near compared to when it was at work. When I was at work, my chest was in constant pain. I constantly felt like I was going to pass out. I constantly felt miserable and horrible and stressed and pissed off. I constantly felt in so much pain to where I felt like I was... there was times where I was like, I couldn't function right. I was still doing my job, but it's like, occasionally things kind of changed colors. Sometimes borderlines of my vision kind of turned a little bit red. Sometimes I started not seeing colors much anymore. Things like, oh, great, the world's black and white for a few seconds, and we're normal again. Now I feel dizzy. Now I'm going to have to try to lean myself a tiny bit against this machine as I'm trying to fix this thing, because I'm starting to fall over. I'm sorry. I'm not a fucking Terminator. My body's flesh and blood. I get tired. And it's just like my back, oh my god, my lower back was in so much constant pain. I was constantly eating just to force myself to keep going. I was drinking energy drinks all the fucking time. Everyone's like, well, you're drinking tea. That's fine! I'm fine to have this fucking thing of unsweet tea. Like, well, you're brewing tea, and you haven't even got around to brewing that relaxation tea. That's the chamomile, lavender, peppermint leaves, and yes, catnip. I haven't got around, but I've been brewing all kinds of oolong tea and black tea and green tea, which are, all caffeinated. I have a fucking, how many 64 fluid ounces, 2 quarts, 1.89 liters of unsweetened pure leaf, no sugar, real brewed tea here. I've basically been drinking like a gallon and a half of black tea a day. So yes, I'm still ingesting a good deal of caffeine. But that's nothing compared to drinking like 3 fucking energy drinks, the big fucking monster fucking shits, and Red Bulls and Full Throttles, like 3 a fucking day, and even taking caffeine pills, and Advil, and Tylenol, just so I could keep doing that job at the ridiculous fucking quotas that were completely impossible, to where they wanted us to do completely impossible fucking quotas that there was no possibility of success at, and then I was still forcing myself to work as absolutely hard as I possibly could, doing my absolute best, and nothing I could do could ever be good enough. And they just kept raising the quotas, increasing our hours. Hell, though I'm grateful for that, because you know what? Because all the fucking overtime I worked at least gave me some money to live off of in between jobs. So that I could have at least a little bit of time so that I could recover from all the bullshit of that fucking place and actually improve my health. And I'll tell you this, it's hilarious. I wasn't hardly able to jog very much at all while I was doing that job because my knees were already in constant pain when I was doing that job. And even though I'm still a fucking fat ass and I'm still as heavy as fucking all can be, my knees are fine. My knees don't hurt now. I'm able to go jogging. I go to the fucking bike trail Granted, it's been starting to rain a bit and be cloudy, which kind of defeats the point of me trying to have my shirt off to get more fucking sunlight into me, because extra sunlight's supposed to be good for your liver and your organs, your health, and all that shit, and it's supposed to like help with depression, but now there's a bunch of clouds everywhere, and a storm, and like tornado shit going on. Granted, it's fine, nothing got damaged, you know. I think there's like some like trailer park on the outskirts that got hit slightly, and like one house got slightly damaged, but as far as I know, nobody died, so thank goodness on that. I'm just saying, it's going to defeat the point of getting extra sunlight. There's fucking clouds everywhere. Great, I like that. I like the clouds. I like that weather type. But it's defeating the purpose of trying to get more sunlight. The point is this. When I was doing that job, my chest was in constant pain. I constantly felt like someone was punching me in the fucking chest. I was in constant pain. My lower back was in constant pain. My shoulder blades, the things on your back. Like, I know it's weird. I know you can't see me pointing to it. I'm trying to reach. I can't reach over that far. But the main point is the things in the middle of my back that move, that, you know, in the middle of the back. I don't know what to... Scapular? Is that what you call it? I can't remember. The thing in the middle of your back that controls, you know, not your rotator cuff. That's inside your actual shoulder. Though that, of course, the shoulder and elbow and stuff are a bit sore. As were parts of my fingers, just because I did a lot of meticulous work on my manual labor job. A lot of detail-oriented bullshit. That being said, the thing when you're moving your arm back and forth, the part of your bone that moves in the middle of your back, that's in between your shoulder and your spine, that was in constant pain, as was my lower back. And I'll say this. For a little while there, I was starting to see a chiropractor because it was in so much pain that it was like, it hurt so fucking bad. But most of all, my knees. I'd be laying in bed. I would be laying in fucking bed, and I could feel my heartbeat in my fucking knees. I'd be laying in bed, and my knees would be throbbing. My knees were in constant fucking pain. And now, I'm going out to fucking bike trails, and I'm jogging, even though I'm not losing any fucking weight. I'm just staying a fucking fat ass. That thing is like, I'm not building any fucking muscle. My arms aren't getting any more muscular. I'm not really stronger in any way. I don't know if my cardio is improving, but the fact that I'm running out of breath reading a fucking visual novel, all I'm doing is sitting here in a fucking chair reading, and apparently, oh yeah, we're out of breath, and I'm getting tired and slightly lightheaded where I had to use a fucking inhaler. Fucking bullshit. But hey, here's the thing. That's at least a win, though. It's a win, the fact that I'm able to go to a fucking bike trail and go out there and be fucking jogging, and my knees don't hurt. That's good. That's at least some improvement. And yes, I understand it's unrealistic to feel that I can't just like one punch man this bullshit and just like, you know, do like anime character workouts, but one, we have to be understandable that I'm not an anime character. And I'm not an athlete. Hell, my nose is stuffy. Heck, even though I say I want a six-pack, I'll say this. I've never had a six-pack. Never in my life. And this is also the fattest I've ever been in my life. And I'm also old now. And usually people's metabolisms suck when they're older. So some people would probably feel that it's impossible for me to have a fucking six-pack at my age. But you know what? I still want to, and I'm still at least going to try. It just, unfortunately, might take longer. I was hoping to possibly, like, within 2 months, you know, have all the fat gone and be just six-pack. But, of course, everyone's like, yeah, it might be unrealistic for you to want to lose, like, 60 to 80 pounds of fat and then build, like, 20 pounds of muscle in 2 months. That might be unrealistic. Even by anime character standards. I'm like, I know. But I'm still judging myself for not doing that. It may be an unrealistic expectation. But I'm still kind of, you know, holding that against myself. And it's like, hey, let's hold an expectation against yourself that was never a possibility of success anyway. Well, either way, I'm going to keep trying to do the jogging at the bike trail and stuff like that. It's discouraging. I want to actually see some sort of improvement. And the fact that just It's a fucking cardio activity. It's supposed to improve your heart and lung health. And yet I'm sitting here in a fucking chair reading a book, reading a visual. It's not even like thousands of pages. It's not like it's a thing full of words. I'm literally just reading a sentence every minute or so as we look at a fucking thing. Reading casually. And I'm running out of fucking breath. Just saying, I would expect maybe the cardio health to have improved a bit too. Or to at least see some semblance of a six-pack instead of feeling like I just look down and I'm just like, yep, I'm all jiggly. I'm the fucking Pillsbury Doughboy. As I just look down and see, oh yeah, I'm a fucking fat ass. And my fucking arms, like my biceps are like, yeah, that's tiny. My arm is small. Heck, why don't we just go the full barrel with it? Cardio sucks. My stomach's fat. My arms are too skinny. Heck, my dick could definitely be bigger. Yeah, I'd also like a bigger dick. I'll take a drink of this tea. Okay. I keep saying I'm going to stop going off on fucking tangents or getting distracted, and that doesn't seem to go very well. I just can't seem to do that. Whatever. Even though it's still morning, it feels like I've been out all day, despite being a short trip that was seriously exhausting. After my grand escape from the counselor's office, I returned home intending to further research the Adder blueprints. My sister, on the other hand, returned to class, cheerily sending me off without a care in the world. I'm a little concerned about what might happen to Sarah after that, even if she doesn't get in any real trouble. Having an incident like that go on her record can't end well. But what incident? She didn't do anything wrong. But if she's happy with how that went, then I guess there's nothing to worry about. It's her school, after all. And if she wants to tease the counselor, that's her decision to make. Hi, Misa. Misa? Hi. Yay! I'm happy to see you too. What are you doing here? Glance. Huh? Misa looked toward the blueprints Sai had given me, which was sprawled out on the coffee table. Oh, right. I must have forgotten to put those away before I left. But that isn't what I meant. I'm asking why you're in my house. Question marks? Tap tap. Misa tapped on her right wrist. I assume it's a clock. I couldn't get to our meeting place on time days, so you decided to come here instead? Nod. I mean, that's actually considerate. Thank you. Thank you, Nisa. That's nice of you. As practical and convenient as that is, I should probably be mindful of the fact that the killers and Carter's employees seem to know where I live. Pulling me away from my thoughts, Misa held out a brochure, practically forcing it into my hands. What is this? For 3 days only, come see the amazing... You want to go see the circus? Nod, nod. Sigh, what a pain. Is this supposed to be how Misa wants me to make up for blowing her off this morning? I can't blame her for being opportunist, but between Sarah's counseling, 2 meetings a week, work, and now daily dates and nightly training, I already have enough on my plate. Really looking back to just last week, I can't believe I was actually overwhelmed by the amount of free time I had. I understand you're excited, but should we take care of our target first? He needs to be taken care of quickly, doesn't he? Don't be like that. Word comes before play, right? Shake, shake. So much for being a professional. And why does Misa want to go somewhere so loud and public anyway? Has she forgotten what the city was like yesterday? Save. I actually don't remember if I took her to the circus last time. Yeah, wait. I did it back. I did. But I see no reason why not to go to the circus again. It was fun last time. I don't know if it would give me any good possible outcomes to not do it. So yeah, I want to go to the circus. That sounds fun. They don't really have circuses anymore. Or fairs. Not since the whole COVID thing, because then they shut those down for a while, and then they haven't really come back, and then the economy's been having issues. Guess we have time. Fine, we'll go to the circus. Yay! After work. Pal, don't give me that. What would your father say if he knew you were trying to ditch work to have fun. We'll go tomorrow, okay? For now, we should at least scout the target out. Sigh. That's more like it. Alright then, settle, we have work to do. After sorting out our plans for Wednesday, Misa and I prepared for work. I quickly stashed away the blueprints. Break in, grab my knives, and escorted Misa to the train station. Our destination was a small city called Trenton, resting just beyond the outskirts of our cursed city of Richmond, a boring town just barely safe from the influence of its next-door neighbor. Though, considering the reason for our visit, perhaps that was merely wishful thinking. I looked through our target's file briefly at home, then more detail at the board of trade. Tony Raw, 43 years old, works in IM. Wee. I don't suppose you have a ladder with you. Not that we should need one. Misa's broken in a far more grandiose place than this. Surely has a way of getting in. What do you think? Do you see any way of getting inside? Point. The house next door. Misa pointed at the neighbor's roof, then the target's. You're insane. Misa may be professional, but I'm beginning to think that she lacks common sense. This might be harder than I thought. Well, that was a sound. Ha! I'm home. Ah, welcome back. Uttering only those three words, Sarah walked up to my side and kissed me on the cheek. The joy in her face was evident, if not unexplained, and it seemed that Sarah was in the mood to show it. Whoa, what's gotten into Sarah? After what happened with the counselor, I figured her day could only get worse. If anything, I was expecting depression or anger. Were my behavior and attitude not as toxic as I'd feared? Hee. Still, it is a little eerie not knowing what has her so giddy. But what is it? Here, another letter. Alright, the money thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. Though wasn't she pissed last time? I prefer this. I prefer the happy response. It couldn't be the counselor again already, could it? What are we doing? First I will make a save. Return to game. Oh, right, the award thing. And I will go. Whee! 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 Strike without delay. How can I waste opportunity like this? Hey, you're all... Wait, what? Yeah? Honey, you're back all right? Yeah? Ralph slowly turned around, showcasing visible surprise as he set his eyes on the person he presumed to be his wife. It took every ounce of my strength not to make a joke or snide remark about his assumption, but as a man with a job to do, there was only one task on my agenda. Grog! Sparing only a moment to come up with an appropriate reply, I instead opted for violence, immediately drawing my blade and slashing at my target. I cut him fast. Whee! Okay. Save. Turn to game. Accident work. Whee! Change back. Yeah, this outfit looks nicer. I know we slept last time, and I certainly don't want to miss. But I want to see what would happen here. Why not? Sarah won't be on stage for a while anyway. At least this way, I might still be awake when it's her turn. Then again, it's not like there's anything to do out here either. I suppose I could walk into town and grab dinner. Or even just walk around for a bit, something to keep me occupied until the ceremony's over. Not that late, the ceremony has only just started, right? Mrs. Thorne. Be that as it may, we have schedules for a reason. If you can't get here on time, don't bother coming at all. I stopped walking as two voices entered my ears. Damn it, looks like Miss Thorne is still keeping watch out here. Wait, what am I worried about? She said it herself. She has no power over me anymore. Despite thinking that, I peered around the corner discreetly, careful not to be seen. Hey, you're that person from the flashbacks. I think. How could I? You know that my parents won't drive me, and public transport this time of night is sketchy at best. So leave earlier, or wait around the school next time. If the Tesla twins can make it on time, then so can you. The Tesla twins? As in both of them? That's right, and unlike you, they showed up early enough to get inside without issue. But I thought expelled students couldn't come back. Not that it's any of your business, but Mr. Tesla wasn't expelled. He quit school of his own volition. There's a big difference. They're talking about me. Wait a minute, I know that girl. I see. Is he... He seemed fine, somewhat unkempt, not terribly happy to be here, and quite eager to leave, but nothing out of the ordinary for him. Thank God, I'm so glad he's okay. Show up on time next time and you can speak to him yourself. Yes, ma'am. Honestly, you kids. So your friends think you were expelled, huh? It wouldn't have killed you to tell her you were leaving, Mr. Tesla. Do you know I'm here? Are you a ninja? You don't have to keep hiding. Come on out. Yeah, you know. You knew I was here. I've been working at this school for decades. I have a sixth sense for troublemakers like you. Figures. So what did you tell them? Them? Your friends. Sure you told them something before you left. You know full well that I didn't get along with my classmates. True, but even you had one friend, and from the sound of it you didn't tell her a thing. Friend is a strong word. I barely even knew the girl. Or at least, I don't think we knew each other that well. I mean, last I checked, we did suffer a major head injury. Because I think like our parents were in a car accident, and they died, and we were like in the hospital for like a month or so, and we suffered a little bit of brain damage, so that could be a thing. Also, trauma sometimes suppresses things in terms of memory, so it's both an emotional thing and also really hard hits to the head suck. I'm just saying concussions suck, okay? It's an odd pain. Or at least I don't think we knew one another well. You really are oblivious, aren't you? It's painfully obvious that you're the only one who believes that. What do you mean? Nothing, forget I said that. But even if you don't think of Miss Crescent that fondly, you at least owe her an explanation. I guess so. My parents exploded in a car accident, and I was unconscious in a coma for a month. Which is kind of funny, given the fact that the original playthrough of this game ended with me also going back to the hospital after being stabbed through the chest by a fucking wakizashi samurai sword. And then also being in a coma for another month. Wait. Can you get like a frequent flyers miles thing for comas? Like a stamp card that if you have like 10 comas, you get a free sub? I don't know. Making a save. Because I don't want to... Okay, we'll go after her and talk to her. You know what, you're right. Thanks, Miss Thorne. Honestly, you kids. I'm too old to be playing Cupid. Damn, where did she go? That girl really ran off a hurry. It's almost as if she knew I'd be chasing after her. Did she leave the school grounds already? She couldn't have gotten that far, right? I quickly ran through a list of possible routes she could have taken, trying to figure out where the girl might have run off to. She mentioned public transport earlier, so if she's going back home, then my best bet is the train station. Then again, her feelings about public transport weren't exactly positive. Perhaps she walked here instead? Either way, my gut feeling tells me... Did I get stabbed? What the hell? Why now? All I'm doing now is chasing after a friend of mine. Is it really that? Really an act deserving of punishment? Forget it. The train station is close by. Even amidst this pain, it'll only take a minute to get there. Crap, I don't understand. Why is this happening now? That's the most logical place to look for. Yet my body... What on earth is it trying to tell me? I don't care if you like it or not. I love the view from here. Whenever I come here, I can just forget about everything and relax. The pressure, the expectations, the angst, it all just fades away. I suppose I should go back. I guess I must look like hell if even you are worried about me. But don't worry, it's not like I plan on letting this continue. Next time around, I'll be the one protecting you, okay? Celicia. That's right, her name is Cecilia, isn't it? And I know just where to find her. It's been a while, but my body still remembers the way. I can never completely erase Cecilia from my mind. There's no way I'd forget our old meeting place. A tranquil location not far from school, a midpoint between our homes. That place where we first became friends. Wait a minute. If you knew that I was watching when you were arguing with this girl, why didn't you just tell her that I was there and we could have met there rather than letting us run? You know I'm here to also... I feel like the teacher could have done that better. Had to burp. Excuse me. Cecilia. I knew I shouldn't have bothered coming back. I didn't want that stupid award anyway. Waiting just where I knew she'd be was Cecilia, crying by herself in that one place that used to make her happier than any other. Without realizing it, I began to walk towards Cecilia. Damn, I forgot how much of a crybaby Cecilia could be. Save. Return to game. Be kind. Is crying alone in the dark really that much fun? I have an extra shoulder, if you want to borrow it. Is it Suo? No way. The misery masking Cecilia's face vanished in an instant, replaced with confusion and disbelief alike. A face she hadn't seen for months. One she was no doubt beginning to think that she'd never see again, stared back at her with a familiar smile. Once Cecilia came to her senses, she quickly wiped the tears from her face, forcing a false air of composure around herself as she rose to her feet. It's not that big of a surprise, is it? I mean, it's not like you thought I was dead or something. I guess you're right. I'm overreacting again, aren't I? You can say that again. Ow! You jerk. Do you have any idea what you put me through? But me? Yes, you. So much for a happy reunion. I don't understand. I didn't do anything to you. That's my point. You didn't call. You didn't visit. You didn't even say goodbye. Could have at least responded to the letters I gave Sarah. Wait, what? Okay, I mean, I could see I don't remember because I had a really strong blow to the head. It was in the hospital. But you gave Sarah letters. Letters? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. You inconsiderate, selfish, useless, arrogant, stupid. Geez, this girl's even worse than Sarah. Oh well, if history is any indicator, chances are I'm the one at fault here. I'm sorry, Cecilia. Huh? Why are you sorry? I should be the one apologizing. Really? That doesn't sound right. I'm sorry about all of this. It just feels like we haven't seen each other in years. I was beginning to think we'd never see each other again. I didn't even know you existed in the first playthrough. Most people would consider that something to rejoice over. Ouch. Well, I'm not most people, and neither are you. You can say that again. But really, where have you been? What have you been doing? I tried asking your sister, but she wouldn't tell me anything at all. Given the way she'd been acting since you left, I thought something terrible would happen. The way Sarah's been acting, huh? I guess our parents' death really had an effect on Sarah. I'd be happy to tell you about it, but right now I'm kind of supposed to be watching Sarah receive an award. We can talk later, though, if that's okay with you. Talk later? You mean at school? You'll return after all? Hell no. Save. Hopefully giving you my address doesn't get you killed. Give her my address. I suppose we continue this conversation after I give you my new address. If you don't mind making the trip, that is. You're inviting me over? I guess I've never been to your house before. Now I think about it. Well, we're actually living in a rented property right now. Is that okay? Of course it is. Please give me your address. Fine by me. Okay, then I'll come over tomorrow morning. Is that alright? Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Come over by like 7 in the morning. Because I have places I need to be at 10 o'clock. Because, one, I'm technically dating a girl from my work, and we're both assassins that kill people. Also, the whole point of this playthrough is I'm romancing our sister. Because video game logic. Moon. That's a pretty simple moon, though. It's just a fucking white orb. After giving Cecilia directions to my temporary residence, we slowly walked to the school gates, together making idle conversations watch. She decided not to risk trying to sneak in, so upon reaching the gates, we said our goodbyes for the night and went on our separate ways. And so without further delay, I finally sneaked back into Sarah's ceremony. Simon, Tant, hey, I made it in time! I was worried I wouldn't. Runner-up for this year's mathematics competition. Phew, just in time. I'd better focus, the ceremony's almost over. Sarah Tesla. 3rd place in this year's senior science competition. Recognition of extracurricular studies in law. She could become a lawyer. Well, they're actually acknowledging Sarah's interest in legal studies. I guess it's just that balanced woman who has a problem with Sarah's outside interests after all. Yay! Here you go. Yay! Ah, the thank you. After accepting her reward, Sarah looked out into the audience, her eyes soon landing firmly on her one and only family member, who barely made it back in time. Her smile grew even wider as I returned her gaze, perfecting the scene as she received rare acknowledgement for her efforts. And that's what I'm saying, people like acknowledgement. They also like faith. And just being appreciated and accepted and all that shit. Hey, is that the girl you were talking about? As Sarah smiled happily toward the crowd, a grating voice nearby began to penetrate my ears. Whee! Back when we were speaking with the counselor, you didn't seem all that surprised at what she had to say. Irritated, yes, but not particularly surprised. Nah, a lot of what she said did make sense. We start living alone together and you end up wearing my blood to school. I'd think you were getting into fights myself, if I didn't know any better. Huh? No, I was talking about the other thing. Other thing? Sexual stuff. Damn, I was afraid that's what you meant. I really don't want to have this conversation, but failing to answer now would just make things more awkward. I thought you didn't care what you thought. Forget that, old bat. Thought you didn't care what you thought. I don't. It's not her I'm worried about. I just thought that, maybe it was getting to you. Why would I give a shit? I'm used to this shit. You eventually grow a thick skin over the stuff. Take even me. Eventually I got used to the idea that everyone fucking hates me. Whatever, I'm used to that. Now, granted, I do feel a little sad on certain things, but it's not because people insult me or treated me badly. It's just a lack of positive fucking influence. I got used to the fucking negative bullshit. I don't fucking give a shit. What does bother me is just to go. It's like I don't have anyone actually having my back or giving me positive compliments and support. But yeah, over enough times, whether it's school or the rest of life and shit, you get used to people being fucking assholes and saying rude, either impulsive or maliciously intended, premeditated shit. As I cough and burp into the fucking microphone. Drink some tea. But Heck, I'm sure a lot of people out there can agree. If you've listened this fucking far, it's probably been hours, this fucking video. But the main point is this. After enough people just constantly talking shit to you and insulting you all the time and trying to provoke, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. You get used to it. You grow a fucking thick skin and you learn not to give a shit about the insults and bullshit people have to say. I don't give a shit about that. What I do give a shit about is just feeling like a very lack of positive, of compliments and praise and faith and the nice things. I don't give a shit about granted, yes, it's not pleasant. I don't like the insults and bad things that would occur. But, one, it's in the past. Granted, yeah, certain things still bother me, but it's more about the more serious aspects that usually involved, actually being physically hurt. Or just that fact that it was just a constant fucking thing. But at the end of the day, as far as people saying shit, you get used to it. You grow a thick skin, you don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, I cared more about the people, trying to strangle me or stab me. The attempted murder stuff I cared more about. The people constantly whispering and talking shit about me and saying horrible fucking things about me. What's that fucking matter? I don't care about those people anyway. I don't give a shit what they have to say. Now, I do care that I don't have anybody saying good things about me. So, yeah, that's the thing. I have a thick skin. I don't give a shit if people talk shit about me or whatever. What does bother me is a lack of positive things being said to me. I like compliments. I like positive things being said. That's what bothers me, is a lack of, positive, nice things. Or hugs. So it's not the bad things that bother me. I got used to that shit. It's the lack of good, happy things. My ear itches again. I'm just saying, it's nice to, whether it's friends, family, or say a romantic partner, or just in general, just random people, just hearing a positive thing, hearing someone say something nice. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't need everyone to like you or some bullshit, but it'd be nice just to have a couple people that they do like you, and especially when it comes to romantic relationships, to have somebody that trusts you, somebody that cares about you, someone that sees value in you, that at least a couple people that just like you, to hear positive, nice things, to have a few people that want to make you feel comfortable and happy and safe, all that stuff. I don't have a praise kink, okay? It's more of an issue of, I would like hugs and positive compliments, and to feel like at least a couple people actually fucking respect me. Whatever. I mean, heck, that's one issue I really do have in regard to a few people, is that if I were openly bisexual, it's like, how would my family members, especially my dad, respond? He is very, very religious. Granted, I'm very religious too. I believe strongly in God, but I don't see anything wrong with people being gay. But it's just other people are very much more strict on the whole no gay thing. And it's like, I'm just saying, a little bit of acceptance and caring about my well-being and happiness ahead of just caring what society thinks. It does annoy me at the idea that certain people would care more about what society would think or what's seen as proper than whether or not, my own emotions well-being, as I can't fucking verbiage anything right. Then again, we're all clear. I suck at sentence organization, and of course, I'm fumbling over my words all the time anymore. Whatever. I think I'm gonna cook some bacon later. Some eggs. Some toast. Right, I'm playing a game. I keep getting distracted. My bad. Couldn't care less. You're the one who's been fretting over it, not me. But maybe so, but does it really not bother you? If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me. I see. Sarah breathed a sigh of relief, as though the matter had been weighing heavily on her mind ever since. If it really doesn't bother you, then maybe I'll have to stop being so reserved. She calls walking around the house while dressed like that reserved? And how do you plan on doing that exactly? As soon as the words left my mouth, Sarah adopted a cheeky smile. She looked up at me, her face flushed, as I rethought her words from a completely different angle. Well, I don't have to edit things, so I'll just save now. We'll come back to this next part. And everyone's like, you fucking blue-balling son of a bitch! It's like, you told us we would get to that part of the game. And then right when it's obvious that we're getting to that part of the game, you're ending the video? And I'm like, yeah, it's been a long video. Everyone's like, you fucking asshole! Well, this has been Lunar D8, and yeah, I basically just teased everybody, and we went the whole video, and I'm not giving the audience what they want. So, in part 12, we'll resume this. Let me know in the comments, do you actually want to see a part 12? So yeah, hit that like button. Heck, why not hit the subscribe button? But yeah, hit that like button and type in the comments that you want to see a part 12. Or answer any of the other things I told you about in the comments. Because I was also saying whether or not you guys want to see me do Andy and Leyley. The Coffin of Andy Leyley. Though, actually, like I said, it still stands. Any game suggestions. Like I said, I like platformers. I want to play a game of Super Mario World. And I do like lots of different games, whether it's visual novels or the horror games, the first-person shooters, or even the stuff like Thumper and Nerve that's like the high-speed reflex stuff. So, let me know in the comments. What games do you want to see? Let me know in the comments if you want to see me play episode 2 of The Coffin of Andy and Leyley. And let me know in the comments, do you want to see a part 12 where we fuck our sister? Because that's where this is going. So hit that like button. And let me know if you want to see a part 12. Because I think it's pretty obvious where this is going. Let me double check to make sure we saved. That's the wrong button. Right. Save. Yep, I do have that there. Return to game. But yeah. I told you this game is like The Coffin of Andy and Leyley. But yeah, you want to see me do part 2? I mean, if you want to see me play episode 2 of The Coffin of Andy and Leyley, if that game, like I said, it could be bullshit. Maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe it's a rumor. But I'm just saying this. Do you want to see me play episode 2 of The Coffin of Andy and Leyley? Do you have any other game suggestions? But like I said, hit that like button and give me a comment if you want to see a part 12 where Suo and Sarah have sex. Though I would still say this, if you guys do ask for a part 12, if there's anything explicit like straight on nudity, I am going to have to censor that because I can't show that on YouTube. I cannot show nudity or a sex scene on YouTube. But I can like blur it out with a giant blurry rectangle and square so you guys can't see anything. But until then, I'm going to call this a video because it's 3 fucking hours. So yeah. Hope everyone had a good day, and yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hey, I did a blind Let's Play of Resident Evil 7. I think that'd be something you guys might like. And let me know in the comments if you want to see part 12 of this. Bye.